And once we vote, my message especially to the youth, stay around the polling station. The law may not allow you, if it's in a school, to stay near the classrooms where people are voting or where the queues are. Hang around outside the station. When it closes, come back to the polling station. The only place you're not allowed to go is into the classroom where they're counting. So stay around to guard the vote. And this nonsense of Ekathon saying that they'll ban use of mobile phones, we will not allow them to do that. What does the law say? Open and accountable. We must have the phones. The number of people who abuse that by taking photos of their phone to show others for money is very few. The only place you can say don't go with a mobile phone but go with it but don't take a photo is in the polling booth. And agents who stand near enough can be able to identify a person taking a photo. You cannot ban phones. Next time, they will start prescribing what set of clothing you can come with to the polling station or shoes.
What's up, folks? Ramadan Mubarak from the Retrobox team. My name is Rania Abdi, and it's officially that time tunaanza kuhesabu. The past 10 days inaenda kuisha mwanzo. It's crazy. Time flies so fast. But unajua nini? Me, by the way, I don't mind it. It's fine. Mimi naongoja tu 15 days hapo. Hiyo mark ndo tunaongojanga. But tell me, what day do you guys get excited about? Ni time ya tahajjud, time ya gani? Let me know. Find us on the socials. But before that, kuna kitu nataka niwaambie. Ramadan Mubarak, guys. I hope you guys get the goals that you set for yourself this Ramadan. Tranquility and peace to all of you all. So Makbul.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak wa Saum Makbul.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Kifah Asad from Radio Generation, wishing you all Muslim brothers and sisters Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Mubarak to you all. I wish you a prosperous and a happy Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum guys, I'm Bilal from Radio Generation. I'm wishing you Ramadan Mubarak. Say you enjoy this day 6. Say chance kuzoenja. May Allah accept all your du'as and the barakah in this holy month of Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak.
To all my Muslim brothers and sisters, today the being 6th day of Ramadan, I wish you Ramadan Mubarak.
First of all, let me start by saying that police brutality did not start 3 years ago with this administration. Police brutality was actually has been witnessed since 1963. But it was even heavy in the last administration, Mr. Speaker, where our friends now are considered by, people on the other side of political divide to be very clean. I see sometimes, which is a paradox, Madam Speaker, that sometimes you find today complainers about police brutality are actually dining together with the people. They still not have answered questions on police brutality in the last administration. But be that as it may, because that is really has become the level of hypocrisy in our country. As soon as someone joins certain political wing, they are no longer being held into account.
Very late, we had already changed the schedule, and we used our means. We don't want to expose how we are moving, because I know they will get this, and the next time they might not want us to move the way according to our plan. Yeah. So, Jeff, for our own security, we will not go into that. But I want to tell you that signs had been shown. As we speak, Jeff, my security officers are at Kisumu Central Police Station just because they refuse to join Raymond's team. They stay in Kisumu. Every time I go to Kisumu, every time I go to Nyanza, I spend time with them. They're my boys. We grew up with them. Right now, they are trumped up charges. They want to put guns for them. They want to put knives and pangas and every other thing, Jeff. There is no charge up to now, Jeff. No accessibility. And the people who arrested them, do you know what is surprising, Jeff? Good. They are police officers who came straight from the DCI headquarters in Nairobi, not Kisumu. Specially organized to come and arrest them. Specially. Why? Because even the police officers in Kisumu are saying that PS Interior is a rogue that is disturbing them. that he can't give them the independence. Every time phone calls, go and arrest so and so, because those people are not speaking his language. Jeff, the first person who should be arrested is the PS Interior. Jeff, I'm talking to you from a point of conviction.
Okay.
He is the same person who sent the same DCI officers who arrested my brother.
I have not received any report from the ground yet, but I know for sure that in a free and fair elections, it is difficult for UDA to win even an MCA seat.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for the report because the polling was very clear.
Yes.
The UDA candidate in Ivurore, for instance, where we had a candidate who stepped down for the DP candidate. I know the polling, the UDA candidate was not even number 3. It was the DP candidate.
Right.
There was an independent candidate, then our candidate, then a UDA. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's no way.
Yeah.
No way
so
that the voters could have changed overnight. I'm waiting to hear the report.
Yes.
I'll not comment without hearing those who are on the ground. Yeah.
All right. I guess then we will wait for that particular moment.
Yeah. And the challenge, even for the general election, is how we mobilize, vote, and guard the vote. Because this manipulation of the electoral process is to make people lose hope and see that voting is futile. That is what we must fight against.
Right.
And people must remember that whereas it's easier to manipulate by elections, it is not the same in a general election. There will be over 53,000 polling stations.
Yeah.
They will be stretched. They cannot abuse security on that day on the scale that they do in a by-election.
Are you suggesting, or are you saying that in these recent by-elections that took place yesterday, they were not free and fair?
They cannot have been free and fair if UDA was said to have won Ivurore and anything in Mbere. It cannot be. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting to hear the reports on the ground. Yeah. People are done with them and everybody knows. Ruto himself knows. If he has any favor, why is it that they have to employ goons? We have seen goonism. Kenya has become Haiti. Goons reign free, escorted by the police.
Yeah.
So goons are in charge. Why do we have goonism? If he has any favor with the people.
On the outskirts of the Dajabula town in Wajir County, northern Kenya, pastoral families are watching their livestock die. The rains have failed repeatedly. What was once grazing land is now dry earth. For communities here, livestock is survival, and survival is becoming harder. Nearby settlements, including Garissa, have been hit just as severely. This is Abdisamad Loge. Our documentary, When the Rains Failed in Dajabula, reveals the harsh impact of drought in northern Kenya. Watch the full story on Radio Generation Kenya's YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Patricia Wayua, and this is Generation Report, your weekly news roundup show on Radio Generation, where every headline has a heartbeat and every moment counts. This is Generation Report, your weekly news roundup show on Radio Generation. When leaders speak, can you listen?
The system or the intelligence, they are very clever. You can be balanced in one way or the other without knowing they are balancing you.
And every morning they speak here on the People's Breakfast.
It cannot be that we will only be the leaders of this revolution when we come to the media stations. But then when people die, we do not say that we are the ones who sent them there.
Don't miss the People's Breakfast tomorrow morning on Radio Generation 88.8 Nairobi. This is Generation Report, your weekly news roundup show on Radio Generation, where every headline has a heartbeat and every moment counts. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Patricia Wayua, and this is your weekly news roundup show on Radio Generation. Generation Report. Ladies ladies and gentlemen, introducing Patricia Wayua. And this is your weekly news roundup show on Radio Generation. Generation Report, the Sports Garage, fueling your afternoon with the fire of sport. This is Radio Generation. Radio Generation Classifieds.
What makes the perfect pasta?
Introducing Tac Macaron, the right texture, the perfect taste and consistency you can trust. High quality pasta crafted for performance. Whether you're cooking for your family, serving guests, or running a busy kitchen, Tac Macaron delivers firm, delicious results every single time. Built for retail, perfect for food service. Loved in homes, demand the best. Tac Macaron, consistency you can trust. Radio Generation Classifieds.
Specially organized to come and arrest them. Specially, why? Because even the police officers in Kisumu are saying that PS Interior is a rogue, that is disturbing them, that he can't give them the independence. Every time phone calls, go and arrest so and so, because those people are not speaking his language. Jeff, the first person who should be arrested is the PS Interior.
This is Radio Generation. This is Radio Generation. What are you doing? The new wave in your airwaves.
Dropping nothing but hits on me all day.
From the track to the pitch, from the court to the crowd, your afternoon belongs to the Sports Garage.
Chama ya Tribal United Opposition ambaye hawana manifesto. Manifesto yao kubwa ni kwamba uende ununue marungu, visu, panga, uje upige watu, malava kwa sababu ya siasa. Shetani ashindwe ama asishindwe. Wewe ulipigiwa kura na watu ya malava ukiwa seneta, ukapigiwa kura ukiwa utatafuta gavana na watu ya malava. Ulikuwa unajua kuna Wanyala na kuna Wakabras na Wasoso na hiyo jamii yote. Umejitokeza waziwazi kutoa watu nje kukuja kushambulia watu ya malava, na wale watu waliumizwa na kuomba gavana kama wameenda kutibiwa Kakamega. We need to get that list so that watibu wa watu na kuwashughulikia na tuchukue hatua. Serikali lazima ichukue hatua. Kama ndakwa umechakuliwa kwa hii serikali na unaamini kama wewe ulichakuliwa na hii serikali ni yako na watu waliumizwa hapa Mayuke, lazima watu wawekwe ndani ndio tujue serikali haifanya kazi. Watu ya West Kabras, mnapenda kupigana kweli? Kama wewe haukuuza sera, wewe ungepigiwa kura na nani? Sera ilikuwa wewe tulikuwa hapa, watu walikuwa Mayuke, wale walikuwa Kahunga, watu walikuwa Indulusia, watu walikuwa Pulupi. Wewe hukuenda kuuza sera. Sera yako ilikuwa mwisho ni kutoa mapanga, ni kutoa visu, na wewe imagine unapiga wa mama. Ushindwe and shame on you. Unaweza kupigana na mama? Mama hawa wa West Kabras ni watu wa amani. Wazee hawa ni watu wa amani. Wazee hawapigani na vijana. Wewe unatoa watu nje ya Kabras kuumiza watu ya Kabras, na wewe unajiunga na ile chama ya kukawanya wa Kenya ile inaitwa DCB. Ishindwe ama isishindwe?
The constituency returning officer hereby declare that Mr. Tobi Mohammed Tobi of ID number 29445861 has been duly elected as the member of National Assembly for Isiolo South constituency in the election held on the 26th day of February 2026. Congratulations.
And once we vote, my message especially to the youth, stay around the polling station. The law may not allow you, if it's in a school, to stay near the classrooms where people are voting or where the queues are. Hang around outside the station. When it closes, come back to the polling station. The only place you're not allowed to go is into the classroom where they're counting. So stay around to guard the vote. And this nonsense of Ekathon saying that they'll ban use of mobile phones, we will not allow them to do that. What does the law say? Open and accountable. We must have the phones. The number of people who abuse that by taking photos of their phone to show others for money is very few. The only place you can say don't go with a mobile phone but go with it but don't take a photo is in the polling booth. And agents who stand near enough can be able to identify a person taking a photo. You cannot ban phones. Next time, they will start prescribing what set of clothing you can come with to the polling station or shoes.
What's up, folks? Ramadan Mubarak from the Retrovox team. My name is Rania Abdi, and it's officially that time tunaanza kuhesabu. The past 10 days inaenda kuisha mwanzo. It's crazy. Time flies so fast. But unajua nini? Me, by the way, I don't mind it. It's fine. Mi naongoja tu 15 days hapo. Hiyo mark ndo tunaongojanga. But tell me, what day do you guys get excited about? Ni time ya tahajjud, time ya gani? Let me know. Find us on the socials. But before that, kuna kitu nataka niwaambie. Ramadan Mubarak, guys. I hope you guys get the goals that you set for yourself this Ramadan. Tranquility and peace to all of you all. So Makbul.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak wa Saum Makbul.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Kifah Asad from Radio Generation, wishing you all Muslim brothers and sisters Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Mubarak to you all. I wish you a prosperous and a happy Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. I'm Bilal from Radio Generation. I'm wishing you Ramadan Mubarak. Say you'll enjoy this day 6. Say chance kuzoenja. May Allah accept all your du'as and the barakah in this holy month of Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak.
To all my Muslim brothers and sisters, today the being 6th day of Ramadan, I wish you Ramadan Mubarak.
For what really matters, the connections, the context, the stories behind the stories. Introducing Patricia Wayua, and this is your weekly news roundup on Radio Generation, where every headline has a heartbeat and every moment counts.
And yes, good evening, good evening and good afternoon. There are some people who are just, it's midday where they are right now.
Time,
yes. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salam alaikum to our brothers, Muslim brothers and sisters. Tunasema saumu what?
Makbul, if I'm not wrong.
Anyway, good evening and welcome to Radio Generation, and specifically to the Generation Report that starts right now from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Actually, it's already 24 minutes past. Yeah, there are some few things that we are putting in order before we start the show. And we are right here because we need to have conversations. Yeah, conversations around the big stories that happened in the course of the week. And that is why we are here tonight. And I take this opportunity to welcome you to Radio Generation, the home of hard truths and bold insights. Yeah, you can be able to tune in to Radio Generation. That is on our frequency in Nairobi here. That is 88.8 here in Nairobi, 90.7 all the way in Mombasa and its environs, and also on 89.5 all the way to Garissa and its environs. So you are able to follow the conversations that are about to take place in this in this show tonight. And I'm so privileged to have Soki Brenda with me here. She is a colleague here in the news department. So karibu sana Brenda, and you also tell us where people are able to follow the conversation that is on our social media platforms.
Thank you so much, Tricia. Thanks once again for inviting me to Generation Report Show. My name is Soki Brenda, and I'm a newsreader, afternoon newsreader. You can follow us on our social media handles on X, that is at Radio Generation KE, on Facebook, Radio Generation Kenya, on our Instagram handles, and also on YouTube.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you're just outside there and you want to be part of this conversation, please join in through any form. You can join in on our social media platforms. You can also join in by just tuning on your radio that is at home, and you'll be able to continue with this conversation. Brenda, this week a lot has really happened, and it is a week that everybody was looking forward to because of the by-elections that happened juicy. So people were so keen about, and especially those the lovers of politics, and current affairs. They were so much glued on their televisions, on their radios, on their social media platforms to be able to follow on what will be the outcome of these by-elections. This week also we've had other stories hitting the headlines. We are talking about there is a case in Luak
Gulf.
Yes, there is a case that also became a big story in the course of the week. We have also heard so many other stories, especially political, because of what is happening, and especially between the UDA and the ODM, what has been happening. So we have so much lined up for you. So apart from Brenda Soki, later on we shall be joined by one Dr. Festus Fadamula, will be in the house. We also have one Simiyu, will be in the Joachim Simiyu will be in the house tonight, and there's also this one Jimmy Gikwa will also be in the house tonight, because there's a lot that we need to break down these stories so that now we can give you a different perspective of what has been happening. So I want us just to dive into these a few of these stories before I get joined by the guest. I want to understand this hijab story. Maybe for those people who missed this story, you can just let them know what happened.
Tricia, I think before we dive into the hijab controversy, there is just a breaking news story that is going on, that 6 people have been killed after a helicopter burst into flames in Mosop, Nandi County.
Yes.
The police boss for Nandi County, Mr. Samuel Mokosi, has confirmed the identities of the burst happened at 4:45 p.m. and the identities that were occupying that plane are yet to be confirmed. So we are just following up on this story, and then we'll have to let our audience know on what is happening. The identities will be telling our audience. Let me go back to what you've just asked, the hijab controversy, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Was that the question?
Yes.
Kindly repeat the question. Was it?
Well, it's just about, but just let the viewers understand what really happened, just in case they missed the whole story about this hijab controversy that happened. But even before we get into that, because we have some few minutes, we need to go for a commercial break, so that now we can get back with the full story and the rest of the other stories that we are about to share or to converse about in this place. So I just want to remind our viewers that you can be able to follow this, because our conversations here, they are on audio visual. You are able to view what is happening. Those of you who are listening, not knowing that you can be able also to view, please take note that you can be able to get onto your phone and be able to follow the conversation. But meanwhile, let's go for some commercial break, and then we shall be back.
This is Radio Generation. Radio Generation Classified.
This Eid, let's celebrate together. Get ready for the biggest family hangout of the season, Eid Family Fun Day, happening on 20th March at MOW Sports Club, South Sea, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's a full day of non-stop fun for the whole family, kids, Are you ready? We've got chobo, kati, skipping rope challenges, sack races, bouncing castles, and an epic color splash experience. Parents, relax and enjoy the vibes while the kids create unforgettable memories. Entry is only 600 bob for kids and just 200 bob for adults. Grab your tickets now at www.langopass.com. See you on March 20th at MOW Sports Club, South Sea.
Radio Generation Classified. This is Radio Generation.
No person, not even a child, should be discriminated because of their religion. Yes, because of their religion or otherwise.
Yes, okay. Honorable Chair, the law is very clear, as a Honorable Member Senior Councillor said. It is very clear. There should be no discrimination whatsoever on matters of religion, on matters of any faith, and it is very clear. That's why I requested Honorable Chair that to give us more time, because the story we are getting from the Sub-County Director of Education in the preliminary report and what we are getting from the school seem to be requiring further investigation to understand really what happened with this on this particular issue.
So PS, is the girl in school or not? So is the girl in school or not? We are being Senior Council, 1 minute. So is the girl in school or not?
As we speak now, the girl was removed from the school.
Why? That's the question. Why? So you are going to seek more time and the girl is staying at home. That's not fair. And the girl must go back to school. Who is tying your hands to make a decision? Why don't you pronounce yourself?
The PS should the girl should go back to school as you wait for response.
You're correct.
She cannot be at home.
Yes.
That kid must go.
You need to defend the constitution. The girl is supposed to be allowed to go to that school.
Yes, Chair. Honorable Chair. I will ensure that the girl gets back to school as soon as possible.
Now, immediately. Yes.
As soon as today.
Yeah.
Hey, not tomorrow. Yes.
Yes, and we are back. That's a conversation that was happening. Actually, the grilling of Bitok, it was being questioned as to why this is happening. Apparently, you said that the child was sent home.
Yes.
Because of putting on a hijab.
Yeah, the girl was donning the attire, and we are on the holy month of Ramadan.
Sure.
So I don't get why donning an attire is wrong to the school management. And this raises the question, Tricia, when this girl was being admitted at Luak Girls, was she putting on the hijab or not? If at all she was putting on the hijab, then that is common sense to the school administration that this student belongs to a particular religion. So if at all shule haikuwa inataka the student to put on that particular the hijab, then I believe the parent could have been notified during admission that the school does not allow students to put on hijab. Then they couldn't have offered her admission. But the fact that shule ili go ahead ika offer admission, then the school should, I think the school should be answerable to why they send these particular students out of school for donning that attire. This is not it is not a beauty accessory. And I was just going through what that hijab means according to the Muslim religion. And I was so fascinated, Trish, to learn that the hijab itself, it has a different meaning. It means respect, modesty, and all that according to Muslim religion.
Yes.
And the fact that we are on holy month of Ramadan, then the student putting on that hijab, it signifies modesty, privacy, and faith for Muslim women. So I think shule ingemuuliza why, but I don't know. I don't think if asking a student why I may put on the hijab, inafaa erase a lot of eyebrows. That was so wrong. According to me, that is. I know someone will ask, what does the law say about uniformity in school? But at the same time, our 2010 Constitution, when you read the article, that is Article 27 of the Constitution, it guarantees equality and freedom for what? Not guarantees. Article 27 of the Bill of Rights is very clear that no person, not even a child, should be discriminated against because of religion or otherwise. So in this case, mtoto alikuwa discriminated, and that is very wrong.
According to
me.
According to the Constitution.
Yes.
Well, and I was also looking at Article 32 of the Constitution, which of course guarantees every person the right to freedom of conscience, religion, thought, belief, and opinion. Which means it protects the right to manifest any religion or belief through worship, practice, teaching, and observances, either individually or in the community or in public or private. So basically, it is a right. Because for the Muslim, I tend to believe that in the Islamic religion, like you said, the hijab has a meaning, and there is a way by each and every the different people, worshippers in the Islamic religion, there is a way they conduct each other. Like, for example, you see that in many mosques, you realize that they do not mix with their women while worshipping.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah, that's
there is a common practice. There is that one that we usually know that before they go to pray, of course, they need to kwa Kiswahili inaitwa kutawadha. That there is something, there's something that they do. Yes. Kutawadha ni ile the washing of hands,
cleansing.
the cleansing, that's the right word. So that's something that they usually do. So it is their practice. It is a practice in their religion. So I think the utmost respect is supposed to be granted in such cases. But again, also when you get to like what you've said, there is also a law about schools and what it happens.
Uniformity in school.
The uniformity in schools.
Speaking about the uniformity in school, Trisha, allow me to sorry, nimekukat short. If at all this particular student was discriminated because of wearing a hijab, this is a Catholic school.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that all the students in that school are Catholics.
Sure.
Tuko na student from different
religions. Yes.
Na kuna wale pia, they don't go to church. Does it mean that those students who put on rosaries, pia watakatazwa, they are not supposed to put on rosaries because they're in school?
Well, I sometimes have been asking my questions because I've gone to different schools, and just the other day I've witnessed a school whereby do you know about these fleece jackets? Yeah, the ones students usually, it's usually now a requirement because of the cold. Yes. So you realize that in some schools, the manufacturer decided that fleece jacket should have yes, it should have. But now there are some schools right now, they are telling you to cut it out. They want their students without that cap. You understand? So you ask yourselves, why is it? Why all this? But again, some of these schools, they have reasons as to why they do this.
And every school has got its own rules and regulations that are supposed to follow. But on matter of sending a student away because of donning a hijab, that was so wrong of the school. I'll call it out. Luak girls, that was so wrong. And that reminds me that on September 7th of 2016, the Court of Appeal allowed the wearing of the hijab in schools, ruling that a March 5th, 2015, High Court ruling prohibiting Muslim students from wearing the religious attire and trousers in school was discriminatory, illegal, and violated their constitutional rights to religion, belief, and freedom for discrimination. So, by the time the school management was sending away these students, walikuwa wanakumbuka about what the Court of Appeal allowed.
Well, in that case, I remember they said that including church-sponsored public schools have the authority to determine their own dress codes, which may include prohibiting the wearing of hijabs, by the way.
At the same time, someone might say that this student, because kumekuwa na a lot of controversies on social medias, even some leaders, they were saying the student therefore could have been admitted in a Muslim school. I think that is so wrong.
That's wrong, because
and that
we all
brings us
have,
back to what one of the leaders said about a certain particular students to remain in their county schools. Yes, it's like kusema kwamba now that a student anatoka in Western or in Wajir should not school
because they believe,
in Nairobi because they believe that
they have a culture there that will accommodate them.
Exactly. That's my
well,
point.
you know, this also takes me back to a time when there was, you remember the Rasta, there was also a student who had Rastas from the Rastafarian
community.
Yes. And also he was sent home to cut the dreads. But
during
they refused,
admission or after?
They said they cannot because this
during admission, then
religion.
That is okay, because at least the school has made it clear from the first time
that we can't
that
admit.
we cannot admit that. But this, according to this girl, wamemsend away. Kumaanisha alikuwa already the student of
in
girls.
that school, yes.
Yes.
Well,
you can imagine what that lady is going through
the child,
mentally.
yes,
the
because of course she's missing school. Yeah. She's already missing school.
A lot, exactly.
Yeah. But again, okay, let's wait and see what comes out of this, because I tend to believe now that it is in the public domain, now that the government has already been involved.
I think it is a follow-up. It is a follow-up that is supposed to be done, because the PS for education said that he's following up to make sure that the girl is going back to school. That was during during Thursday, or it was on Thursday. It was during there was the Public Accounts Committee, whereby the MPs were forced to suspend that committee and deal with
this matter.
Exactly, the query,
the grilling of the PS education. Okay, now maybe in future, what do you think this is gonna? What's gonna happen? The precedents this is going to set,
make
and
the laws right from the word go. If at all you won't tolerate something, then let it from the word go. Like there are some schools, I won't mention the school, but in Kisii County there is a school. Is it Kisii or Nyamira County? There is a school that doesn't allow girls to go with their hair. They have to shave. Ukienda na nywele, you'll be forced to shave kwa gate before they admit you. You know, that is a rule that the school has made. And ikona a lot of students, which means the parents, guardians, and everything, including the students, wamekubali kwamba watenda. So in this matter, in future, to allow to avoid this back and forth, the controversy about religion and all that, the school management should make it clear.
Should make it clear.
Yes.
From the word go.
Yes.
Yeah, but let me ask you, for example, if today your child was admitted to the school X, and then you've prepared everything, and on your arrival at that school, that's when you realize some things that you cannot help, but because now you're already there, you've done your shopping, you've done everything, then you have to join.
Trish, I believe by the time you are being given that admission letter, kuna kwanga na some rules and regulations of the school. Yeah, this includes what a student supposed to carry, uniformity and all that. So you have to go through those rules and regulation. Ujue kwamba shule haitaki hii na hii, including yenye nimekwambia ya to shave, inakuwaga part of the rules.
You'll be shocked one day you go to some of these schools. You'll be shocked.
When that time comes, then we shall cross the bridge.
Yeah, you'll be shocked because some of these schools, I don't know how to describe them, but anyway, because now that the government is already with this, let's just allow them to follow it up and see what happens out of that.
Okay.
So the other story we wanted to look at is the by-elections. Yeah, and before the by-elections, what has been happening with ODM and the UDA? Most definitely because of this broad-based government, the marriage between the UDA, between the UDA and ODM, because these are the main parties in that coalition, in that broad-based government, ODM and the UDA. So after Raila joined the late former Prime Minister, joined the government in that broad-based arrangement. We saw what has been happening. We saw some of the leaders of ODM, those who never wanted ODM to join the government. You saw what they did. Yeah. And then now, fast forward, look at when they said that they set the 10-point agendas. The 10-point agendas, inside the 10-point agendas, there was the NADCO report, which was one of the key things that was supposed to be addressed for this broad-based to continue working. Actually, they said, is it March 7th to be the date of review to see how far they have gone with this. So now, and part of this broad-based, of course, is the push. You've heard what ODM has been pushing for them to be able to continue supporting the government and to support Ruto, president, for the 2027 re-election. ODM, you heard what the leader said, the party leader. Hiyo kiti, hiyo ya DP ndio tunataka.
You know, ODM is now diverted. We have ODM A and ODM B. And both ODM A and B let's call its leaders.
Let's call the ODM with the party leader Oburu as the conservatives. ODM the conservatives. And then now we have the others. I think they call them they see themselves as the Gen Zs. Yeah, the youthful, yeah. So looking at that, you remember what he said when he was in some parts of Nyanza there? He said, like, we don't want that seat. Actually, he was just standing next to the current deputy president, Kindiki, professor. So he told him, no, you need not to get worried because we don't want that seat. I mean, hatuna shida na wewe.
But sasa wame change.
So now they are saying that is the seat they want, the most actually. And of course, looking at leadership, by the way, the president, when you are the running mate or you are the deputy, of course, there's a lot of privileges that comes in terms of development and so many other things. Of course, you have a say in the government and so many other things. So you told me that Mount Kenya, but some of the Mount Kenya leaders have said no.
They're on bargaining power. Like, ni kama we are on bargaining seats. So it's like, it's either you give us, or if you will not give us, then you'll have to face the consequences. And it's interesting, Patricia, that's what I can say. It's interesting because going back to the 2022 general election, we all know that Mount Kenya was a key voting bloc in the last election.
Sure.
And so by Mount Kenya leaders reminding the president about their support in 2027 is not automatic. I know the president also knows what they mean. And going by the previous general by-election, it is like a signal of what will happen in 2027. And it also brings a question mark by these Mount Kenya MPs saying that if at all the DP won't be the one that will be forwarded or rather be fronted.
The running mate.
Yes, fronted as the running mate for the 2027 general election. Does it mean that kuna mchezo wa paka na panya somewhere happening? Have they sensed? Because I won't mention the dates, but several MPs, they met here in Nairobi, and others, it was even on news, others met in Mombasa. And the discussion was about this hot seat, the DP hot seat. For God's sake, we cannot ignore Fire Si Fire. We cannot ignore him. You know, this is a person that already amesha set ground. You know, says ukiamko kusema Fire Si Fire and all that, we already know who we're talking about. So I don't know if there is something that is happening underwater, or MPs wana feel tu kawoga fulani, wana feel hey, hapa tusipokaa vizuri ni kama hii kiti ya UDP itatolewa Mount Kenya region ipelekwe other sides. You know, so it's interesting times in Kenya, and we're hoping, because if at all the DP won't be fronted, then we all know that it will be some fun time in Kenya.
Well,
and if at all the ODM pact will have to front their person, of which we don't know who will be fronted as their preferred DP. If I may ask, what do they bring on table?
What are you asking? What ODM is going to bring on the table?
Yes. That's my question.
Okay.
What would they bring on the table? By this, I mean, who will be the fronted preferred deputy president? Yes.
Why are you ignoring Oburu, Daktari?
I'm not ignoring Daktari.
Why are you ignoring
I'm not ignoring Daktari. ODM you on a lot of leaders, including the Homa Bay governor.
Yes,
Gladys Wanga. So sijamu ignore, but just in case. And if at all, if at all he can, for a deputy president, inafaa mtu mwenye akona muscle. You get.
Well, I think what is going to happen...
And going by... it's not like I'm preferring the current DP, but going by what the previous by-elections, naweza sema he's capable. Nimesema tu he's capable.
Well, okay, first of all, of course, we need to appreciate the fact that for the president to choose Professor Kindiki to be the running mate. You remember there was a lot. Of course, I know the former deputy president, initially actually, word has it that it was Professor Kithure Kindiki was the preferred running mate for President William Ruto. But then because of there are so many dynamics inside there, and especially the financial dynamic of it, that the former deputy president got in. But then now things worked until now the previous one was able now to come back to get into that position. Well, looking at what has been happening and looking at, of course, because the by-election is also a test.
It is a test. It is like a litmus paper.
Yes.
And we cannot ignore that.
Looking at what has the outcome, of course, there is you can tell that the DP has put in some strength, has put in something, has invested to ensure that they get this. Yeah, if at all the by-elections were free and fair. Let me just put that in.
You say if at all.
Yes, if at all, yes. Yeah. So when we talk about the ODM saying that they will be able to, that is the seat they want. And without it, things might go wrong.
What if they are not given that seat?
So of course they say they are not going to support the president.
If at all ODM will have to withdraw from the UDA pact, okay, will there be any big impact?
There is, because look at it from this perspective.
Okay, says we don't have Baba. Remember ODM wenyewe, it is into two. We have ODM A and ODM B.
He needs a part of that ODM for him to win the 2027 elections. Looking at...
Not really. It is not a guarantee.
Why?
It is not. UDA itself inaweza kajisimamia. Okay, I'm not a politician, I'm a journalist. I just want to be neutral.
Okay.
So let me not dig deep into that. Yes.
Because when you say UDA alone...
But as a matter of fact... Yes.
So because I'm saying Mount Kenya itself, usishike murima. You remember? So, basically, that is what, looking at the president has experience. He has the experience. Look at his history in terms of elections. And time he has gone to the ballot, what happens? So looking at him and looking at somebody who was able to win an election whereby we had the opponent being supported by the incumbent president, it's quite challenging. He must be sharp. He must be knowing how to play his cards. He must be a well player of his cards. So that's why I'm saying.
Don't you think?
So right now he knows very well, because look at him. He has taken his campaigns majorly, you see, in so many parts of the country. But again, he knows very well that Mount Kenya is divided because of the Gachagua factor. And
the same way Western is divided.
Yes, same way Western.
The same way Nyanza is divided.
That's why.
The same way ODM is divided.
That's why I said, because remember last time he got the Mount Kenya votes as a block. So right now it is divided. You get? So there is a reason to worry. Okay, we are journalists. We need to get back to this. We need to get back to the studio. Anyway, yeah, so that is it about the what the Mount Kenya people have said. I mean, leaders, not people.
Yes.
Some
In
leaders.
fact, some.
Yes.
Yes, some.
Some of the leaders, what they have said, because they want that seat. They said without that seat, then we will also have to rethink about what to do. So about the by-elections also we said it's a quite, okay, it's a very strong political statement from the president, from the government. The UDA, let me just say UDA. From UDA to the other political parties, what happened, the outcome. Because look at all these the positions. They went with UDA candidates.
Then there was DCP at the same time. Yes, kulikuwa na DCP, kulikuwa na Ford Kenya, that is in Emuminji, Ford Kenya party, not Ford Kenya. This for Honorable Natembea. Yes. So you can continue. Sorry for cutting you short.
So looking at such statements, I think for the opposition or the united opposition, they have also a lot of work to put in. For them to be able to get this, because it's quite worrying anyway.
Starting with what just happened during the recent by-election, Tricia, I believe this is for 2027 indicators. It is like a litmus paper. It is ni kama inajaribu indicate what might happen during the 2027 elections. And from this, we should interpret the wins as early momentum heading into the next general election. And I believe, I don't know if at all DCP watasema maybe they didn't do their campaigns well, or ground haiwatambui. I don't know. Ground imekata kuwatambua. You know, there is two kind of politics. Kuna politics ya online na kuna politics ya ground. Politics ya online, it is full of kukupatia moral. But ground iko na reality. Ground iko na reality.
Yes.
That's when nimekuambia, could it be they didn't do hawakufanya campaigns well, or ground imekata kuwatambua? Ground is slippery. Yes.
That's for the DCP. Are you saying the DCP?
Yes, DCP. Because
the opposition.
DCP, I think, when you say we talk about united opposition, the big shareholders need DCP. Exactly. So I'm referring to DCP. Yes.
I'm also looking at the Cabras seat. What happened? I'm looking at that candidate who stepped down for the other.
We have Evrore, Cabras, and Emuminji, and then Isiolo Kusini, Isiolo South.
Yes. Isiolo South. So I was looking at that candidate who stepped down. Of course, it was ODM who stepped down for the UDA. Yeah, they're in broad-based government.
Are you unajaribu kujua Kenya nitakwambia?
Okay, I think
okay, but
let's call it
a tagline, or rather the byline is sometimes these by-elections they act as a taste for the ruling government. You can imagine if at all the by-election could have happened, then let's say 2 or rather 3 out of those 5 places that the by-election happened, either 2 ingena na DCP, 3 baki na government, or rather 3 ende na DCP, 2 baki na government. Then pia ingeka the ruling government kwa msasa.
Okay.
Yes. But the tagline is, it is a midterm signal of what will happen in 2027.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brenda Soki, for joining me in this conversation. I think we call it a day as we move on to the next hour of this conversation.
How I wish we could have continued. Yes, thank you.
It's 8 o'clock.
This week, power was tested in the corridors of leadership, economies shook under pressure, and the voices of ordinary citizens demanded to be heard. From breaking decisions in high office to protests in the streets, from moments of triumph to tragedies that stopped us in our tracks, these are the headlines that shaped our week. And beyond the noise, we search for what really matters, the connections, the context, the stories behind the stories. Introducing Triciah, and this is your weekly news roundup on Radio Generation, where every headline has a heartbeat and every moment counts.
On the outskirts of the Dajabula town in Wajir County, northern Kenya, pastoral families are watching their livestock die. The rains have failed repeatedly. What was once grazing land is now dry earth. For communities here, livestock is survival, and survival is becoming harder. Nearby settlements, including Garissa, have been hit just as severely. 66-year-old Aden Ibrahim Osman says he has lost most of his goats and all of his donkeys to the drought. The animals were his main source of income and transport.
weli tan oo kala ma aanan arkin eri saddex tirigaara aan lahaay eriga asaga ay hadda haluukan ugu tagay wax 70 neef ahaan subaxan ka wada ilmihii kareeta aan ku qaato waa waay labadii dameerood buu way baqtiyay.
For Aden, the drought has taken not only livestock but his financial stability. Mohamed Noor Omar has lost more than half of his goats and several cows. The remaining animals are weak.
abaar mar hadaad maqashid horta biyo meel hadaa yeelan barakaba ma yaalaan ari aan lahay ari hadaa 8 bilood 9 bilood hadaas roob ku dhicin muxuu noolaanahay riyaha yar oo hadda darka meeshiisa tuurinaa yaa saaki aan ka soo aruuri wuxuu ahay 150 ahay 40 aan saaki soo aruuri 40na waa dhamaatay wax soddon iyo wax yihiin aan sheegi karin ilaahay ku roonay saaki cidda buudka iska taagnaaya tabarna waa u way lo'na waxaan ka lahay 13 neef وكوا هذا ماشي في فدي إن هذا عن أطقنا إذا كأد إلى قبتين ودبض أد إلى قبتين ما وح ويك كعمها رمضان وسوقلي دت كانوا ودد إسلام أنا تصونته أصبح يكوت وحي أتكو سوميسي هداد سومن هداد سومن بكل بأفكار وهداد حرية ده أنت وحكوا قصبا مركنا تونت وجه إلهي أدو جود.
He says finding food for his family is now difficult, especially as Muslims begin the holy month of Ramadan, when food demand increases and families traditionally share meals.
This was once a grazing land, now it is dust. Carcasses lie scattered across the plain, a reminder of how deeply this drought has cut into lives and livelihoods.
Abdullahi Hassan has lost several cows and goats. He shows one cow that is too weak to stand. Livestock is his only source of livelihood. Without animals to sell, he cannot provide food for his children.
dad waxaa jira maanta oo ilma u shaqeynayeen xoolaha ku noolay deelayna noolyahay neefka noocan ninka lahaa hadda maanta muxuu tiri karaa haba mu tiri karaa xoolihii mid waa dhintay mid waa fadhiya mid waa u eg.
Gabo Haji moved her animals across the Kenya-Somalia border in search of pasture. Many died from exhaustion and lack of water during the journey. She returned with only a small number remaining. She says they have been forgotten.
Anaka waan guurnay, baduudka waan goynay, buur fuulo, ilaa hambalash, diifka xagga, yaan tagnay. Haddana waan soo gadoonnay, dheef waan ka waynay, xoolihii wax dhuma iyo wax dhamaaday u kala go'een. Alxamdulillah haddana waddanka aniga iyo dawda anadu waxa ka dhimanay noqotay aan imaanay wax noo imaaday oo maxaa tihiina dhahay dawladda Kenya oon ahayn oon joognay oon ku dhalanay oon ku dhaqanay inna wax saan noo soo fiiriyay ama nala hadla ma arkin meeshii aan joogno.
Maxamed Xasan Maxamed
from the Dajabula Secondary School. And last time, it's in the shule. Because the chunga mbuzi. How do I debate jirta laalid abarta dhacday on awsatay iskuulka. Dadka oo shacabka banaanka jooga maxay iimayl inaan iskuul ka baxay oo iskuul aan ka tagay. Saas oo ma tagin maxaan ola soo baxay cid ii baahan laalid xoolaha ciidan laanta haysata abarta haysata dhibka haysata zeegi maamo rafaasan laalid aan ola soo baxay iskuulka aan ola soo tagay.
Mohammed says he will return to class once the rains come and pasture is restored.
Markuu ilay gaarsiis roob gudaana aan ku noqona iskuulka saas oo ma tagin maxaan ola soo baxay xoolaha dhibka jira laalid aan ola soo tagay.
The Kenya Red Cross is responding in northern Kenya. Usman Adan Abdi, a representative of the Kenya Red Cross, says they are providing food assistance, water, and basic health services. However, it is not enough for many families in the Dajabula.
The drought situation in northern region is quite devastating. There has been no rain for the last 3 seasons, and the situation seems to be deteriorating. In this region, you have 3 counties, Mandera, Wajir, and Garissa. Mandera County seems to be in a dire situation, and then followed by Wajir and Garissa. Most of the livelihoods within the region seems to be completely off. There are already animals dying in upper side of the region, especially in the Mandera region, followed by Wajir. And then all the concentration of both households and livelihoods are concentrated towards Garissa County. Therefore, no intervention is done recently. The situation seems to be very bad, and almost lives and livelihood will be lost. In terms of intervention, Kenya Red Cross is doing a number of interventions. We have supported a number of households with food, water, nutrition support, health, and we are also supporting psychosocial supports. As a society, we work closely with the county and national government. We are auxiliary to the government. We work with other partners. We really appeal for support for the entire community.
Several leaders from northern Kenya, including Ali Maalim, whose counties are among those affected by the drought, say more needs to be done to ease the suffering caused by the worsening conditions.
As a county, we will continue to stand by our people to ensure that whatever that is possible, every penny that we can spare will be directed towards the drought, even though, yes, it's not even enough.
The Kenyan government says it has released 4.1 billion shillings to support drought response interventions for affected regions in the country. Residents of Garissa say assistance has not reached everyone in need. Families continue to wait for rain. Here, rain usually means the difference between life and death. For Radio Generation, I'm Abdisamad Loge in the Dajabula, Wajir County.
This is Generation Report, your weekly news roundup show on Radio Generation.
Gladys Wanga and our party prepared Gladys Wanga and promised to give Mbadi Ministry of Finance if Raila became the president of Kenya. So, when opportunity arose, which gave us an opportunity to appoint ministers in the government, the first consideration went to John Ngongo Mbadi, or John Mbadi Ngongo. But when he was being appointed, there were others who were also eyeing the same seat. I don't want to mention their names. But personally, I stood firm, and I said Mbadi is the one who was promised, and Mbadi must be given the Ministry of Finance.
The people of Kenya are not a threat to the peace of this country. The greatest threat to peace in this nation and the threat to insecurity in this nation is politicians who have bankrupt minds. They have no policy, they have no plan, they have no forward. They only sell mambo ya ukabila na mambo ya kutenganisha watu wetu. Na waomba tukiendelea kwenda siasa inayokuja, tufanye siasa yetu kwa amani.
Jana kwanza kama miezi 2-3 hivi iliyopita kulikuwa na uchaguzi Kenya ya by election. Broad-based ikashinda 7 out of 7 viti ya bunge na senate. Si namna hiyo? Jana kulikuwa tena na uchaguzi ingine 4 out of 4 wale jamaa wamelala chini. Sasa mimi nauliza wewe kama mtu, niwaulize na bado wanajigamba hapa sijui tutafanya kama mtu mahali wewe unajifanya principal, mahali umepiga kura tumekushinda hapo kwako, alafu unatuambia utakuja kushindana na mimi. Utakuja kushindana na mimi wapi? Polling station yako hauna hesabu kwa polling station yako. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Kutoka Kakamega tumewashinda, tukaenda Isiolo tukawashinda, tukaenda Embu tukawashinda jana. Na sasa anyway, mimi naona tu tupange hii kazi tusonge mbele. Hao watu tuwachane na hao watu. Hao watu ni wakutupotezea wakati. Ama mnasemaje? Tuendelee tusiendelee? Nyinyi waulize jameni. Si mnaamuka hapa mapema? Si ndio? Hata kwa maoni yenu mkiona ile kazi inaendelea hapa, hata hii Bomas mkiona vile tunajenga, hii Singapore tunaongelelea, siko hapa karibu. Siko hapa karibu. Kwani mnaona bado iko mbali? Siko hapa karibu. Ile manyumba ya ghorofa ya Singapore iko Kenya saa hizi.
I went home in December to see my mom, and we have brothers, we have sisters, we have cousins who graduated as teachers 8 years ago. And you know what they do in parliament so that they have members on their side? They give them these employment letters. I don't know where those letters come from. They never give Sifuna. In fact, somebody posted in a group there, a leader in the National Assembly, saying these letters are only going to broad-based people. So my mom, being a mom, we are sitting at home and she says, "Bana, my son, why don't you just keep quiet and let your brothers get employment?" Those are the things we struggle with, and it's actually painful. It's my own family telling me, Sifuna, we do unyamaze tu bwana tupate hizo mabarua pia sisi tumeteseka miaka 8. My answer is always very simple. Like, give me 18 months. You have waited for 8 years. You can wait for 18 months. Right. When we put in place a system of meritocracy at the TSC that guarantees that nobody can skip. You graduated 2 years ago, but because you know Sifuna, you come and get a letter from my office. And yet the person who graduated 8 years ago has no chance because they don't know Sifuna. We want to destroy that entire ecosystem.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world.
This is Generation Report, your weekly news roundup show on Radio Generation, where every headline has a heartbeat and every moment counts. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio Generation. Radio Generation assumes no responsibility or liability for the interviewee's views. This is Radio Generation.
Yes, good evening and welcome back. This is the Generation Report right here on Radio Generation 88.8 in Nairobi, 90.7 all the way to Mombasa and its environs, and also 89.5 all the way to Garissa and its environs. We are also live on our social media platforms, that is on X, Facebook, and also on our YouTube channels, that is at Radio Gen KE. You'll be able to follow the conversation on our digital platform. Also, you're able to follow the conversations that are happening right here at the Generation Radio. And this is, you'll do it, that is on rgk.co.ke. We are just done with 1 hour. We are now at our second phase. And this one, you know, we do it with our analysts from outside. And today, I'm so privileged to be joined by one Dr. Festo or Festo Fadamula, and also Jimmy Gikwa. They are in the house, and of course they are going to introduce themselves, and then now we can just dive into the conversations. This week, like I had said before, we've had a lot happening. And the nature of our show, of course, is to break down the big stories that happened in the course of the week. This week, we saw the by-elections. This week, we've seen the launch of that Lena, hiyo dawa ya HIV. Yeah, that vaccine is, yes, it was launched this week. Those are some of the things that we are going to look at. And of course, politics at depth. So, karibuni sana. I hope you guys are doing well. So, karibu sana, Festo.
Thank you very much for inviting me to Radio Generation a second time. It's my pleasure, and I don't take it for granted. As you said, my name is Festo Fadamula. I'm a Nairobian, I come from Mumias, and I'm a politician, and I'm also a business person. I do manufacturing too. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, this week I've seen that you've done a lot of activities down there in Western.
Yes.
Are you vying for a seat?
Yes, I'm vying for member of parliament for Mumias West.
Okay.
This is my second attempt. I tried in 2017, and now I'm trying for the second time. And that's why you see those many activities, many engagements.
Yes.
We were even with Sifuna in Kakamega, Sisi ndio Sifuna. So
I saw you saying that you took in a lot of
a lot of tear gas.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I remember Sifuna saying that zima hiyo kitu alafu tuendelee na mkutano. You were right there.
We were there, and I think the team decided that this time we are going to defy tear gas. So when they threw the first canister, the team stayed put, and it was Sifuna who was holding the microphone. So he told the people not to move and to put it off. That's why he was saying zima hiyo kitu.
Okay.
Akasema maneno mengine kama bangi, kama nyongi ya jana. Watu nyongini nini sasa?
Yeah, there are some of the words. Okay.
Nyongi.
Nyongi ya jana sasa.
Okay, so
is slang for bad
something.
It's
bad.
Smokable.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
So we are not going to mention it here, right? Of course, because of our followers and our viewers.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. So, karibu sana.
Asante, my sister. Thank you again for also welcoming me for the second time. Mimi mambo ni kuangalia namna this, namna that tunashikilia serikali. So far so good. Congratulations first to Team Dennis Itumbi for clean slate in Mbere. We took to MCS, which was also not very easy, but it was timely. Congratulate Dennis Itumbi. Great team, great gentleman, and I'm also happy even the other areas in the country we won the seats. So it's congratulations to my party UDA, and we look forward to more winnings. We would also want, though not verified, put our condolences or our apologies to. We've had there was a plane crash, the victim, so that he's probably after confirmation, he is a member of our UDA team, a great gentleman. So we are saying Paula to the family, Paula to also the families of the rest of the people who are in the plane. As we go forward, it is a big crack, but God is there, and we are happy to be in Radio Generation.
Yes. Karibu sana. Kenyans want to know, umesema mnashikilia serikali aje?
Serikali kushikilia is we are really working hard to make sure the better works for everybody, and make sure His Excellency the President's agenda is practical. Good on paper, good on the ground. So far so good, though not 100%. There is still room for improvement. We are working towards that, and I'm sure we will get there.
Okay. So this week, like I said, a lot has happened.
Yes.
Of course, it is a week that everybody was looking forward to because of the by-elections.
Yes.
Again, it is a week that we saw the launch of that lenacapavir, which is a vaccine meant to. It's a step that we have done so far in terms of fighting HIV and AIDS, which is a disease that has really
caused a lot of havoc.
Havoc in terms of actually financially. We've lost loved ones. We've seen a lot happening. So I just want to maybe to hear from you guys. What is your take? I mean, what is your submission about, or your reaction around us launching that vaccine?
I think, like he says, is the bad news are there, the plane crash. But he also mentioned something that I'll usually rejoin. I know me, I'm completely on the opposite of UDA. Me, I'm on the opposition side, and I know the government is trying to convince that it's doing very good work, and kudos to them. I think the only thing that they've done that people may think is something that now is positive is the Nyota program, although there are still also many questions around it. But we are still looking at the 200 and was it 219 promises? And how much they have achieved of that is less than 10%. And so we're still very far away from where they said they would take us. So we let them keep scoring. But I think we're still less than satisfied about the performance of everything. And again, human rights, as long as they don't get that right, they can do everything in the world they want. It will never work until you respect human rights. Okay, coming to the HIV vaccine. I think, like they say, if you have not been infected, then you've been affected somehow. I think very few Kenyans have never been affected by HIV. Sometimes directly, losing family members, and if not directly, just the fact that it took away a lot of freedoms that people thought they had, and changed lives completely. So it has been a struggle, and this lenacapavir, we don't know whether now is the right thing, but we are hoping for the best. We may not bring back the departed, but now we have hope that we'll reduce the departing or those who are in danger. But the biggest problem, again, which we must also know that is killing more than HIV is cancer. So that's another area that we must focus on. We might think that we are winning this war of HIV, which I think they had won in many ways, because there are so many drugs that slow down now infections that really manage the infected. They live with the disease now. If you compare to years back when it was a death sentence, actually many people are living with it. But if you can just get it off, then after I finish that, now we need to look at cancer, because cancer is now killing more people than HIV did. And because more and more people are testing, it is now the biggest menace, I think, in Kenya that we must be confronted. Not only in Kenya, this is a worldwide menace. So we congratulate these people who came up with this vaccine. And this restores a lot of hope in Kenyans and everybody, I think, around the world.
Okay, let's hear from Jimmy.
It is a good step towards fighting the stigma, the deaths colluded in HIV and AIDS. But again, it is also something that should be of top priority. Is we need to have a change of the way we look at things. We need to also discipline ourselves at some point, because there's a time I was growing up. When I was growing up, I think you guys were older than me. HIV was so feared. Now people actually, the generation we have, has reached a point they fear getting pregnant. And so we have had improper sexual moves or way people are doing things, which is wrong. We need a different perception so that we also are able to bring down the HIV rate for the people now getting. New infections have gone up. It has not happened in the last 10 years. So we have a generation that needs a lot of enlightenment. They also need a lot of civic education towards the whole. We must make it look like a very serious affair, because most of them, we even have a very large number of people born and living with HIV.
Yes.
So we have a bigger journey now that we have survivors, and on top of the survivors, we have victims of surviving. Because once you're born with it, it was not your.
Was it your fault?
It was actually, it is nobody's fault when you get it all. So
sometimes.
we need to get the stigma off. But now we need people to discipline themselves more. It is becoming more casual. We're becoming more casual sexually, and I think as much as the vaccine has come, that vaccine actually is not usually given to to everybody. It is usually given to people working in hostile areas. Like if you go abroad, the people working
vulnerable, yes.
Not necessarily vulnerable, highly vulnerable, but they are actually people probably engaged and have been seen to be engaging in those activities commercially, which is illegal in our country. But like our soldiers, our nurses who go all the way to like Garissa and all other affected areas out of the country to South Sudan, those are the people who it was actually meant
for them
to cover them. Yes.
But now, if today like maybe you're living a life that is you can't really control yourself.
Yes, but you see, the vaccine that has come is not in that large of a quantity. It is still mostly geared to the vulnerable that it's supposed to be given. It will not be just anything you just walk in and get. Because now that again will be elevating people to do all the wrong things.
Okay.
Yeah, it will not be something that you can just buy off the counter. Yes. And take Panadol.
Yes.
Actually, still on matters health, there is also a good news with that is from a World Health Organization. It's one of the big news that we had this week. Yes. So they said the World Health Organization and Medicine's patent pool. They're saying that they want to strengthen Africa's capacity in terms of production of vaccines.
Yes.
Yeah, and they say they want to partner with these countries, and especially here in Africa, because they want to move from those rich nations who have been responsible for manufacturing of these vaccines now coming to us. And they said, of course, because we need these vaccines so much.
But again, at some point, if you look at it literally, medicine vaccines are a business. And at some point, if you look at most, even the ones that our people have had no civic education about, for instance, the polio vaccine, people had shunned it. And you know, polio, when I was also growing up, polio was not an interesting thing. It was not something you would want to play with. Again, people reached a point where they were even beating the people. We have CHPs. The CHPs who had gone to administer these drugs in the homes, like it has been done, I think, through generations. Some were even beaten because of the people were not getting the whole civic education. There was a lot of rumors and negative and misinformation about the whole stuff. So I think also it is a good thing. It's a good step, but let it not come to Africa to make us pygmies.
But again, the issue of wanting to beat people who are administering these drugs, it's not only among the common people. You remember the COVID vaccine being fought by none other than Donald Trump himself in America, and trying to dissuade people not to take the vaccine, and most people on his side saying that vaccines don't work, and people can actually live without vaccines. And even that debate is still there today. Yet in America, you'd expect that there's a lot of civic education.
Sure.
And yet they still fight vaccines. So I don't know whether it's the issue of lack of civic education, or there's a phobia for vaccines, or people are just resistant to anything that is pharmaceutical.
You know, when we say it is, people have been looking at it as business commercial.
Yes.
So because people are doing business, people can do just anything.
Yes.
They can just do anything. Yes.
Basically, like 90% of these things that are killing us, even that HIV, was created in a lab. Most basically that's what they said, right?
That's what the argument was.
Yes. So basically, everybody is looking at it like, and now Africa with our misconception and bringing the immunizations production in Africa, which is not bad. I am highly skeptical. They would use our people in the wrong manner because of the money. We have a very low income quotum in the whole of Africa. Let's not talk about even Kenya alone. The people living below the dollar are very, very many. Poverty is one of the biggest problems in Africa. So as it comes, we welcome it, but we should also be very skeptical of how things are done and regulations around that also.
Okay, that's fair enough. Now, let's move on to some few politics before we get into the deeper politics. This week I saw, is it 2 days ago or 1 day ago, I saw the deputy governor of Homa Bay County.
It is Homa Bay.
It's Homa Bay.
Magwanga.
Yes, he resigned. Yeah, he resigned, and of course he cited some irreconcilable differences between him and the governor, who is Gladys Awanga. So, and I've seen so many people have come out maybe to say that he should not have resigned, or some are saying that his resignation is going to affect the governor so much big time. And of course he also announced, when he was doing the press briefing, of course he announced that he would be vying for that position of a governor. So now my question is, because I've seen most of the time deputy governors, who are the running mate of governors during the elections, most of the time are never vocal. We never hear about them.
Yes.
What's this seat for?
The deputy governor seat?
Yes.
It is supposed to be principal assistant to the governor. But you see, for example, in the case of Homa Bay, Magwanga wanted to run for the same seat.
Yes.
So as a compromise, Baba intervened and convinced him to be running to Wanga.
Yes.
That's how he became deputy governor. But actually he wanted the seat in the beginning. And they say he's a very popular person in Homa Bay. He's a politician who has a lot of weight himself, and I think the problem they've been having a lot of problems. But now, when ODM became, one is broad-based, the other one is anti-broad-based, and then there was the by-election in Ongondi Were's place, Gaspul.
Yes.
And Magwanga was supporting Aroko. And
who lost the election.
Yes. And Wanga was supporting the one who won, Ongondo Were's son. That difference now blew up into the open. And when they went back to work, she locked him out of office. She denied him everything, any facility that a deputy governor is supposed to access, and any function. He was just now a figurehead there. So I think people wanted him to go to court, but he said, elections are next year. I can resign and start campaigning for this position myself. Because it's 1 year, I cannot live like a zombie in this office. So I think he's calculating that he'll have enough time to campaign as himself against Wanga. Because if he stayed in office and he wanted to remove her, then it will be too late if he can't do it too early. So I think what is calculating a political calculation, because most of them really don't resign. Most of them go through impeachment.
Yeah.
They go to court, they fight for it. And if you remember the case of Triciah, although he was impeached, he's still serving. I think he went through another process which put him back in office. So Magwanga is the first one who says that I can actually leave the office, among the many that I've seen. Most of them don't resign. But I think he's calculating to go against Gladys.
Yeah,
Wanga.
actually said, yeah.
Yeah, and I think she's in trouble also politically in Homa Bay because of her style. Her style of politics has become very patronizing and very imposing, and want it all attitude. She wants to take everything. She wants to take all the power, and she wants to be the only one who speaks for ODM. So Magwanga was finding himself like just a passing, something that is not effective, even being in that office. So let's wait and see. I think he's going to start campaigning very early, Next year it will be between him and Gladys Wanga in ODM.
In ODM, you okay?
Mine. He's given a good whole story on how and why probably he's resigned on the political cloud. But again, we have a problem with how our constitution formulated the deputy governor seat. The deputy governor seat is, I think, sorry to say, one of the most useless. You only go there for your salary, because we have seen it practically in Kiambu. When Waitito was governor and James Nyoro was his deputy. James Nyoro was the technocrat. Waitito was looked at like the goon in the whole political scene, and Nyoro unseated him. Same scenarios have played across when Sonko and so basically it is more of a flower girl. Because it doesn't actually have a mandate. Because as much as you're given, you're not. There is nothing like you don't chair. Most of them don't even chair the CCMs in the counties. So basically, most of them are usually looking. It's like having a PA who is almost your equal, even on the political front. But also again in Triciah. Now looking at Triciah, male chauvinism also plays in place. They are alpha women. And the alpha women usually have a very big problem with the men, because they also are dominating. That is why he has said her domination is being seen even in ODM. But I think also I like the lady because she's very practical in terms of working for her people. In terms of the development she has done in Homa Bay, I can give her a +1. Because again, the politics of we have a very wrong notion in this country. After this election, another one starts beginning. Somebody starts campaigning immediately. This other one is sworn in. So probably their mandates did not run in tandem. It will be a very hard job for him to secure anything in ODM. You know, our political system is such that parties are owned by who owns the parties. The decision-making organs are not and will never be people we may think as the members or stuff like that. Whoever owns it, like now, for instance, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has brought again Azimio. He owns Azimio. Basically, all these other slots are usually just for filling. But the decision, yes, the decision-making organ is like, for instance, in ODM now is Buru Odinga. Tunataka power, you know.
Yes.
At his age, I did not look at it as a very good thing in terms of we as a generation right now fighting for this space. We don't really care about Akinyo Buru Odinga. That is why Sifuna has come out. And when Sifuna comes out, Sifuna is not being probably supported by only ODM people. We as a generation are looking at it as something that we must do in all the quantums of life, in everything we are doing in terms of political space, because we are tired. We have been told we're the leaders of tomorrow, but now there is no tomorrow. What do you mean? I'm 43. What are we all wait to get to 82 to become ODM chairman? No, that time we don't have that time to waste. Probably had everything else on.
You want it now.
Now, and if not now, because our kids now have come. The Gen Zs and Alpha. Their political space, them they are not asking, they are telling. That is what they told us what to do. Do you know in 2024 they ordered us on what to do, and did you know we did it? Maybe not to 100%, but they changed something in the country. Power now no longer belongs to the elite. You see, we have had dynastic politics, or rather the rich man politics. For instance, in Kiamba, my own constituency. We had Jenga Karume, a billionaire. Stanley Munga Gedongori, a billionaire. They never used to be elected because of anything. They were not. There was nothing leadership about the whole thing. We had Kamau Sharia, all of them billionaires. Until we stood up against our own president in 2001 and elected John Kawanjiko. That is where now everything now. It stopped becoming a rich man's system. And so far the Kayang man is doing a good job, though not 100%, and we might unseat him for one or two, three things. So ajipanga pange tu atatupata tuko ground. Yes.
Okay, that's fair enough. let's look at this week. I mean, last week when the president signed the Nairobi
charter?
Yes, that charter between the national government and the county government. Now, after the signing, we have seen now the public participation.
Yes.
Coming into play. So now the question that we've been asking is this just being done as a formality, and when was public participation supposed to have been done?
Probably before.
Before, it's supposed to be done before the agreement is signed. I think they're taking public participation for granted, and I think they are trying to do it because people are going to court to oppose the whole deal, because it lacked public participation. So it's just a technical way or a smart way of saying that we did it. But I think it's already in court. And although it's a good deal, if you look at it on paper, it's a good deal. But due process was not followed. And due process is very important. The law. To follow the law is always why people don't agree with some things. Now, if you don't follow the law, people begin to look at them as having self-interest. People designing ways of making money or making deals or shortchanging a process that is supposed to be defined in law. So I think they are in a bind, because the court will look at it having missed the threshold. And the threshold is supposed to start with public participation. You have to introduce it to the public. You have to invite their views. Before now, you start discussing how to partner as government. Okay, they are saying the government has not taken over functions of the county government. But it's going to be chaired by the national government. It's going to be chaired by the prime cabinet secretary,
which is not wrong.
Which is not wrong. It's not wrong in principle. But I think if they are not taking over the functions at all, then it should have been either prime cabinet secretary does not chair, or it's chaired by the governor in partnership with the prime cabinet secretary, or is delegated officer. So whatever you now try to convince the people that they are not taking over the functions. But if he's chairing, it means that the biggest decision for every step of that deal, the finality will have to be done by the central government because of the chair. So already they have messed up even the structure. And that's why people keep making noise every day that you have surrendered your functions. Sakaja will keep saying, I have not surrendered my functions. There's no surrender. But you are just a deputy in the operation, because now you are not the head. Yet you are elected to deliver for the county of Nairobi, for the people of Nairobi. Now you are not the one in charge. Somebody else oversees your job.
We should not look at it like overseeing. It's not. We should not look at it like it is belittling the governor in any way.
It is the perception.
Yes, the perception to the people, and the people are people who will be talked to. The people are the ones who are suffering. We saw it work really well under His Excellency the President, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, former president. And when Sonko relinquished the same thing he did, John Badi, not John Badi, what is it? It was General Badi.
General Mohammed, the general,
Yes. That is when we even saw, even in Korogosho, in Kangwara, everywhere, that is when we saw even roads, tarmac roads for the first time in the slums. Electrification. So what I'm saying, like Nairobi is a bit peculiar, because Nairobi carries 5 million Kenyans. One of the most difficult places to run, because the people taking the resources, like 2 million, walk in and out every day. They come from other counties, do business, get out. But are they using facilities in the county?
Yes, they are.
Yes, but are they? So it's more of a national effect in terms of you cannot sequence it to Nairobi problems. You cannot be able to equate it to Nairobi problems. That's why I think national government has come in again the second time, because now it has become practical. It is impossible.
Because my question is, a minute please, my question will be, after we tried with Sonko,
yes.
I remember that time,
Yes.
Why was it that now we continued again, we brought in a governor? Why was it that not possible that we continue with
what happens
that
is,
kind of arrangement?
What happens is politically and constitutionally, the people of Nairobi need representation. That is the political aspect of it. And the political aspect of it also brings in governance. And when governance comes in, that is why we have an executive and a legislature in the same county. So it would be very, I had even thought about it, would be very unfair to put it under national government. So what will the people of South B, for instance, say when they have their own problems? That is why we have a parliament, a mini parliament, or rather there is a bunge in Nairobi. So looking at it like that would be unfair if we put it to the national government. Because now, other than national government issues, which are very many, they're countrywide, what will be the representation of these people who are living in Nairobi? How will they get representation? Because it would be very unfair for them not to have their MCs, their members of parliament are already there, but it would be wrong for them not to have a head. It has worked, it has been there. Only that the new system, you remember when we had, what are they called? Mayors. Our governors are usually big mayors, only that they are more than at some point needed. But the county government has not relinquished itself. It is the amount of resources you give to Nairobi County vis-a-vis how much goes to the Nairobi County people. Somebody else comes in, gets out, uses, gets out.
I think it should have been done. I still insist. We elected a leadership in Nairobi County government. You don't need to come and patronize that. The central government does not need to come and oversee anything. If they wanted to give them the 80 billion, they should have just given them the money and maybe increased accountability of that money. But let them run their show, not to come and oversee. That one I will never agree. And listen, if this NMS that you say was successful, it looks that it was successful, but it wasn't. Because if you look at the pending bills that were left,
yes,
they were increased.
Actually,
they were crazy.
Yes,
they were crazy, but
they were crazy.
But for the first time, the people of Nairobi got value for their money, regardless of the pending bills being there. I want to insist, we need to look at Nairobi now as a capital city of this republic. Forget about the political dispensation in hand. And if it is overwhelming, we must get to understand.
Then you can as well remove governorship. You can as well remove governor from Nairobi.
That is why I'm refusing.
And run it the way Washington DC is run.
That's why there is also a mayor in Washington. So even the mayor and the president work. They don't actually. They're not in America.
There's a mayor, but the government sort of runs a lot of.
Yes, a lot. The same scenario we have right now. So basically, you don't have to deny Nairobians a chance to have their politically elected people, their representation. But it is now becoming overwhelming because most of the national government facilities are in this capital city. So when government comes in, I do not, according to the law, it would be a bit not on the right side. But practically, national government should even do more in Nairobi. Because this is the headquarters of everything.
Let me ask you, because like he's asking, what about just increasing that allocation for
increasing
Nairobi
won't work.
County?
Increasing can't work because the problem is not the money.
The problem is what?
The problem is we have a leadership here who has been given some facilities to run this county. Like I said, Nairobi is not for Nairobians. Nairobi is for everybody. Because like I said, if you want to use a toilet facility, for instance, in Machakos bus station, how many Nairobians have even know if there's a facility there? It is entry exit. Entry exit also culminates to resources being spent.
But let me ask you, because look at also a county like Mombasa. Mombasa as well, because we have people who come from the Kwale County. We also have people come from Taita Taveta County. We have people coming from the other counties like Kilifi counties, and they are also participating because
Mombasa, you cannot equate it to Nairobi. Like I said, the biggest population in terms of this country is Nairobi, which has 5 million plus people. With people walking in and out, so you can actually add another extra million. Mombasa is a county that has what do you call this? Our ports.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, national government factors. Mombasa Port assists so much in CSR running Mombasa County, because most of the workers are either on the fisheries and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So initially, it can never be overwhelmed, because Mombasa is a tourist destination. People go in there for reason. Then it's just like Kisumu. Before you go when you're going from Homa Bay, Siaya, you have to still come back to Kisumu. Busia, you'll still bus.
Mhm.
So basically, you cannot equate it to Nairobi. I'm saying Nairobians, there are people here who come sleep. The water they use is for Nairobians.
I think it's a bad precedent being set, because it means the governor had failed.
Not necessarily.
Because before this arrangement came in, there were a lot of complaints, and actually there was even an impeachment on the table. The MCAs had already issued a notice to impeach the governor. You remember the first time they did that, Raila, Baba, and the president came in and saved him.
Sure.
This time they had done it again, and I think it was supposed to be done this week. Then the president jumps in. So the president is only trying to save the governor.
Not necessarily. I want to look
the
at
timing.
it.
I'm talking about the timing itself. Just look at the timing. Why didn't he do it last year? Why didn't he do it last
I
year?
want us to look at it holistically. It reaches a point when Governor Kidero was there. Governor Kidero did it, but Governor Kidero had like a broad-based government in his government. He was in.
I was in that government.
Yes, and you guys.
I was part of Kero's government.
Yes.
Yes.
And you
I
guys
was in
delivered.
Kero's cabinet.
Do you know you guys delivered?
Yeah, we delivered without going seeking for help. Seeking for help from national government.
Yes.
And we managed
By
to
that
finish.
time,
I left early. I left like before the term ended to go and look for an elected position. Yeah.
By that time, we had just initiated our county governments. So we let's look at let's look at it like on the job. We call it on job training. So it reaches a point. It is not practical to run this county like that. But what representation will the people of Nairobi have? Can't we distinguish? He's only taken a few factors out of this. The county. The county has so many things to do.
The other
licensing. There's a lot of stuff.
Then my question has been, because it is a question that I've had people ask outside there, about now that timing. Why
yes.
now? Why now? Why just
why
a
now? And in
year
any
before
case,
the elections?
And in any case, you know what happened when Baba and President Ruto came in.
Yes.
It was the same thing, only that this time there was no Baba, and he was actually going to be impeached. Yeah. Because 55 members of parliament already signed
let me tell you,
impeachment. So this timing here is political. It's not professional. It's a political timing, and that is what we will always know, that they're trying to save. Because probably that's what people think, that probably there are some things that happen behind the scenes that the president does not want, like Kaja, to get out of there. He wants him to remain there. For certain reasons.
That is a thought. Let me tell you, I've looked at it. I've looked at it even in Kiambu County. I give you a good example. It's an immediate neighboring county. These MCAs, it is all about money. It is all about interest. There's nothing. We have very few MCAs I can stand and say they are fighting for the Nairobians. We have a gentleman, Fokile Lesho. At one point, him and Sakaja are not in tandem. And it is not for any particular reason. Resources. This county, let me tell you, you will be very shocked that a toilet in Nairobi can make you a millionaire.
Sure.
A toilet. Those are some of the resources the MCAs fight with. Loyalists of the governors and themselves. So when it comes to Nairobi is one of the most complicated places, because again, it is not a tribal affair. Because Nairobi is cosmopolitan. We have every walk of life. So we have every crazy idea, every good, bad idea. All the nonsense or the good stuff happens in Nairobi.
But Nairobi has the capacity to handle this thing without the national government. Because even the national government itself, even the national government itself are not fulfilled its obligations. There's still so many things that are not done at the national government. Their hands are full. Why would they take on more roles? Why would they take on
not taking on morals because the national government is not going again to employ. So public service is the same people who are going to work. It is just a management factor.
We just have the president overseeing.
Yes, and overseeing it for the benefit of Kenyans, not Nairobi.
What is it that is so hard that they cannot? Actually,
it has proved impossible.
The county of Nairobi.
Governors.
But the count of Nairobi.
I told you it was practical.
We were doing they didn't know anything. By that time, in fact, the amount of money that was looted in their government.
Let me tell you something. The count of Nairobi has some of the best brains. Some of the best brains.
One person at a time.
Like right now,
yes.
My senior, Nairobi, as much as having the best brain, under Sakaja, we have seen when Sonko started revenue collection, it goes going up. So there are so many loopholes in Nairobi to make money for government and national government. Those are some of the factors that you're seeing national government come in, because national government also spends money in Nairobi, because by maintaining offices in Nairobi and everything, they also play a very big part. But they cannot be over. County governments cannot oversee function of national government.
Okay, and you know why we are saying that this timing is political. That's why they didn't do public participation. That's why they didn't do public participation, because this thing was rushed. It was done at a snap because of that impeachment. Even the senator of Nairobi says that he didn't know even what was going. Yet he was elected to represent the people. Yet he was never consulted about this deal.
But he is more national.
No, he was never consulted about the deal, and the deal was rushed to stop the MCS from impeaching the governor. That is what it was. What happened.
You may think of it like that, but
that's why they are now doing public.
Because let me ask
after
you,
the fact,
if they have tried impeachment 1, impeachment 2, so are they? Can we say they are easily convinced, or they have a price, or they have a price?
No.
You understand? So when it comes to local governor, MCA politics, I have seen the most dirty politics in this country, like MCAs, for instance, for Nairobi. And Nairobi, basically, a majority were from ODM faction, right? It has become impossible to run it without either oiling their hands, and that is system. And you see, practically, if you do that, you bring down the county. And again, on top of that, what governors have also come to see, and that is why governors are fighting with the senators. And you saw even a governor say, these guys are just asking us guys for money. It reaches a point where the interests in counties is so much that some issues for capital city, we might not be able to deal with the local politics of it, because national government functions have to be run from Nairobi.
So, okay, yeah, that timing is the one that is bringing problems.
But Sonko's timing was not even any better.
And also the fact that,
you know why I'm saying so. Yeah, 2 years after, and now that we tasted the metropolitan service, how it works.
Yeah.
Why were we not able to continue with the same?
Yes.
That is my question.
That is basically what has happened
after the president came in, immediately when he came in, if we really believed in this, we needed to have seen the continuation of this.
The mandate and the mandate of NMS by that time had not given NMS a budget, and officially they did not have power to do any procurements. That is why they brought a very crazy debt of the debt burden that they left from whatever they were doing. Now we have national government which has ministries which run in Nairobi. Do you know we have monies for running even offices, probably running even each ministry, just moving them to come and assist, not for any particular reason.
It's as if they don't have work. I think they have a lot of work.
No,
they don't need to assist Nairobi. Nairobi has got its own government. Nairobi has got its own officers. It has got its own leadership. They have county assembly.
It has become
they have everything. So I don't think they should have done. I don't think this thing was pushed for nothing. It was pushed for political reasons, and you will never convince the normal mwananchi that it was done for the benefit of.
But the normal mwananchi is what NMS did.
The ordinary
and if there was at any point, because what we have had in Nairobi, my brother, and that's why I'm saying we have to understand this thing.
Okay,
if an MCA is not with the governor, either maendeleo yendi kwake or something. That is the wananyonga nyonga.
Well, that is a culture that
Yes.
we are seeing.
Yes.
Wait, let's have the top of the hour, and then we will be coming back.
It's 9 o'clock.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul.
Well, welcome back to the Generation Report right here on Radio Generation 88.8 in Nairobi, 90.7 in Mombasa, 89.5 all the way in Garissa and its environs. Radio Gen KE, that is on our social media platforms, that is on Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube, and also on our X platform, whereby we are live and direct there. So please continue joining or following this conversation, because like I can see, my analysts here, they are breaking every bit of these stories that we are conversing about right here. So we were just talking about the issue of the agreement that was signed between the national government and also the county government of Nairobi. So the questions that are coming out of here is, why now? Why now? Yeah? And you've heard Jimmy ametetea sana pale.
Unajua natetea kwa nini? Because like tuseme, you see like Dandora, let's put even Dandora dam site alone. Dandora dam site does not serve Nairobi alone.
Okay, let's agree on that. Okay, it's okay. So now another question that I maybe we need to attach it to this one is about the insecurity that is happening in and especially in the capital right now as we speak. Yes. The other day we saw attacks happening, and especially even in areas where we thought security was
suburbs.
Yeah, like areas like Kileleshwa, we are seeing what is happening. And again, what is coming out, what people are really saying is because we saw those people walking side by side with the police during the Mandamano. That's basically what so many people are feeling like these gangs got that courage from that one aspect, what was happening during that time. So I don't know, Jimmy, what is your take about the security in our country right now as we speak, and especially in the capital, which we are saying that I know security was one of the key things that the national government was one of the points that were the responsibilities that the government wanted to share with the county government. But the question is, this issue of
Goonism.
Yes. Especially in the capital city.
What has happened, and like I was explaining to my brother, Nairobi is a very peculiar county because everybody walks in and walks out. Even the security detail and the security apparatus in this county is more overwhelmed than anywhere else in this country. We have a very good IG of police, void of a lot of shenanigans from different quarters. Mr. Kanja has planned this system so well, but on top of that, we have social economical problems that are everywhere in this country. But in Nairobi, I talked about Nairobi being a one-stop shop for everyone. So we have, for instance, before I talk about goons, I want to talk about the security. Most of even the people, there's something called even the Dandora crime free. I look at it and I see these thugs were from Murang'a, came and stole in Nairobi, then they are going back to Murang'a. So our intelligence needs to up their game. Number one, our intelligence needs to up our game. We also have another issue. Because of social media and because of our fight for human rights in this country, some things have not been regulated, even on the front of human rights watchers and fighters. Because now a policeman knows by firing a bullet, I can go to jail. So even our police officers at some point wamenunua uoga, which is wrong. But when they do good, nobody commends them. So we have a very big challenge, and that's why I was saying civic education needs to be understood and needs to come up, because the people, if you have looked at all the good estates, even Kileleshwa, Lavington, there is always a slum behind them. Even Loresho, there is Kangemi. So basically, when you look at the two people living in the same scenarios, probably using the same water, same land, because they are just adjacent to each other, and these kids feel like because I'm looking, like I saw there was a post I even said how vijana ndio wadogo sana. The crime now being done is being done not by what we used to know. You know, in my days, we had people like the Madheri, the old Mzez, Rastas, all that craziness. Now the people executing crimes are at a very vulnerable age, 17, 18, 19. We also as a people need to go back and do a lot of, not civic education now, we need a lot of counseling from our religious places of worship, may it be churches, mosques. We also need to take up a mandate, because again, we have another problem with millennials, and I'll say it by and large, because we have some of the most irresponsible millennials in any generation ever given. We have very many single mothers. Not that it's wrong, but we have very few single fathers. But practically, everybody is trying to put food on the table. So at some point, even looking at the emotional aspect of these children, we have to get it right from the churches. I was born and bred in Nairobi myself. We used to go to church in Deliverance Church in Isili, and we used to live in Gashie. I schooled in Australian Primary School here in Parklands, and I went to Highway Secondary School later on. So I remember at some point, because of either the way our parents beat us, I think it is the war. It was very nice, because I think it really, for me personally, I look at it later and I see, if my dad didn't fight me or mom didn't fight me at that particular point, I would have easily gone into either Makangaism, a gang. It was also, all those problems that are here were still there even by that time. But when we got a good system of governance after 2002, crime in Nairobi, even banks. You remember there's a time a bank being robbed was so normal. There was this Barclays, Queensway and Bank of Baroda. They used to be hit like every after 6 months, another one. So I'm also looking at it like, as much as we're fighting for human rights, can we also be responsible as a people? Because my safety starts with me and you. But how does it start with me and you? It's not about you just keeping, either carrying a gun or always using your vehicle or putting up the windows. It has to also go and be looked at from a social economical point of view. Yes, I'm a billionaire. I have a good life. Am I assisting anybody from a different area? We need to carry each other as a people.
I get you.
So that we be able to close the gap for anything that can infiltrate. Have you seen the gangs in Isili? There's a gang, famous gang now. It is famous right now. And the things they are doing, those guys, you're hearing one guy is from Ethiopia, one is from Garissa. But they're doing a disservice to the people of the business community in Isili, and they have now become extortionists. We had seen that also in previous years through other gangs and planned movements. Now we need to look at the social, economical aspect from a religious front, from a humanitarian front.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to...
Me, I would relate it to the way we run our nation, our government, national government. You see, the higher the corruption goes up at the national level, the culture people adopt is also that of corrupt society. So that if they see a lot of our leaders, swimming in money, choppers all over, giving handouts all over the place, carrying bundles of money. And people are crying about corruption every day. Even the smallest person down there will think that our society has no control. There are no values.
So the value system gets broken down completely. And I think our value system has broken down. They say the government is doing very well, but if you look at the rate of unemployment is going up. If the rate of unemployment goes up, poverty goes up. If those two are going up, Gunism increases because most of these young people have no jobs. So they have to look for ways of surviving. That's why they form gangs. That's why they form cartels. That's why they do dirty stuff. Because the nation is breaking down in terms of its management. And if it is breaking down in terms of its management, value system will break down. And now we have those problems. I remember in 2002, after Mwai Kibaki was elected, Nairobi was at a very bad place. Very, very bad place. But you see people now, after Kibaki was elected, people believe that we have come from a corrupt system. And now we have entered a new era. And that's why Kenyans were called the most optimistic people in the world. So they started having values. That is why now crime started going down. Nairobi was extremely bad. He's talking about bank robberies. You could not walk with that kind of necklace in the street. They just take it. There are no mobile phones, but I think if they were there, there's no way you could even make a phone call. I think they just come in.
The public, yeah.
Now we had this thing called Nairobi Central Business District Association. It was a business association formed by business people, and I was their CEO. So we brought something called community policing, which emphasized a partnership between police and the community. So we formed community policing forums across Nairobi. These forums, what do? They hold regular meetings, like every 2 weeks, to discuss security. They come up with strategies of how to work to enhance partnership between community and police. And we used to take police to South Africa, India, to show for benchmarking of how the community was working with the government to improve security. Those things have all died. You remember?
Apparently, that one I'll beg to differ, because now the way he's putting it is like it is this.
I'm not finished.
This government.
Give me time to finish. Then
I
have not finished.
All these problems have been brought
Yes,
by politicians.
No,
and if they were the ones running this county,
I've had to finish my explanation. I have to finish my explanation. We formed those forums across the city, and we used to sit with the police. Police were part of those forums. So we have a police representative, government representative, business. They used to meet every 2 weeks, and we would come up with strategies of how to improve security. Nairobi had been degraded by the United Nations from grade B city to B to C, city status. That has a lot of meaning for how the United Nations works. But after we started those forums, bringing the community to work with police, partnership with police very strong, you make it very strong and practical. You will find that the community was able to enrich the police work
with information.
With information, which the police were able to use to fight crime.
To deter crime.
The other thing is that that partnership helped police feel appreciated. In fact, we had awards which we used to give the best performing police, from the topmost officer to the constable. Those who are performing very well, there were awards that we introduced. So those initiatives are today died. So from the values the country has to the way we partner with police has completely collapsed. And if we have all those not working the way they should work, then we'll have insecurity, we'll have goonism.
Yes, but I want to change that front completely, because I refuse with him, because goonism has not started today.
It has always been there.
Kondele has always been Kondele.
But it has gone
Madare has always been Madare. Our politics. Mwenje, the days for Kamjesh, 1992, when these guys now are young men. I want to change that whole narrative, because the community policing, even now, is being impressed. The Nyumba Kumi, all those other things that have come up.
Are dead.
Probably in different areas. But by people just either not following up or stuff like that. But there came something called civil rights groups that were not there when these guys were doing all that. How do you deal with them now? Because like I said, a police officer is not, at no point do our police officers wake up to just go and kill. You understand? And I'm not saying they are not rogue. There are obviously rogue officers there. There is rogue pastors, rogue. We have seen a lot of rogueness in different aspects. But right now, police do not know where to run. We formed this other committee that came out that checks on welfare for police, that oversights police. IPOA. Then on top of IPOA came other civil rights groups that their work, instead of them looking at it like a policeman is a human being, it came about and changed now that the only person they were trying to fight was the same person trying to offer them peace and security. That is where we lost it. But it is not something like, for instance, when you were saying about in 2002, we were told we were very optimistic. It was not because there was any optimism. It is because people for the longest time, them as our parents, used to tell us, mtu ni mbaya, moi ametukufinya. I didn't even know what tufinya, because I think it was not. I was in school. I finished school in 2000. So my first election was that one. He's talking about 2002. 2002. Yeah, that was my first election. So these guys as our parents used to tell us moi. Like in my community, we were told Raila. I didn't even know what was the problem since 1920. These things came later is when I started looking. When us guys were going, like for instance, I was in Hospital Hill Primary. I didn't know my tribe. I actually didn't know how to speak Kikuyu. Because the guys I used to stay with are from different areas. Sheng, our in thing was Sheng. And we would blend with no tribalism. So when these people say 2002 was good, 2002 was just a breather for people. And in exactly 5 years, we killed each other like bad people in this country. So where did the optimism come to a level that we had the first bloodshed that was across the country? That got us IDPs. Okay. Something that we used to hear in Molo 92s. Funny stuff, but this was, it was not sporadic. It was everywhere in this country.
For me, just to come in the issue of maybe that 2007 case, let's not even bring it the issue of hope in that 2007 because the hope that Kenyans had about the leadership of the country, I think that's why they were being rated as one of the most optimistic people because of the hope. Like there was change of leadership. Remember, the president, that former president, the late Moi, had ruled the country for the longest time.
24 years.
Yeah,
people
for the longest time. Yeah, so people like they also wanted to feel change. Something. Yes. So the coming of Kibaki also, of course, he came in with the changes. Changes that
change is inevitable.
Yes.
And it is very painful.
Gave Kenyans it gave the Kenyans hope.
Yes.
Then now came Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Then everything flip-flopped. I'm telling you, it's my president.
And again, 2007 is a special case because that was based on what people thought was a stolen election, and that was it can happen in any country. But you see, what is happening right now? You see, when you talk about Goonism, I thought I thought you were talking about insecurity. But if just to talk about Goonism,
yes,
I have never seen in the history of this country where police escort goons in the streets. This is the first government that has done that.
Now let me correct you.
Because
let me correct him. In 2002, and I can't remember where, but in the run up to that, Moi government had we used to call them Kamjesh. Kamjesh was security for the president.
They were never in the streets.
No, the streets.
No, they were being escorted by police.
Yes.
When
even in Embakasi here, Mwenje's time, Mwenje's goons were. You see, Goonism,
that happened.
Goonism is what, let me tell my senior, Goonism is what brought about land grabbing even in Eastlands. Because you had so many goons and you do, after elections, you don't pay them. So you can't be able to hold them. Some go back to stealing, others go back to doing their and they are killed and all that stuff. So Akija Mwenje did this thing. I'm putting Mwenje because a lot of Goonism started in Embakasi. It was a larger Embakasi, there was no north and all that. With all those slums, people now started asking for their rights. That's where Goonism comes in.
So now, are you confirming that these goons, they belong to the government? Or what are you saying?
I'm not saying
they do.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying goons have not started now. Only that, and I said we have a socio-economic problem.
You are saying they were Mwenje's goons.
By that time.
But we have seen now government goons.
There is nothing. Mwenje was Moi's darling by that time. So I'm looking at this thing as a, don't put it as this government. We have had a problem.
This time, this era.
Let me tell you, just like Gen Z's did.
Yeah.
Now, the generation you're looking at is something you cannot understand because they are more bold and they come out.
What did they do?
They have understood now there is money in politics. Now, they are not waiting. They come and start demanding. There's a difference.
I don't think they were demanding that time. Everybody remembers they were agitating against this bill of 2024.
The finance
and
bill.
They came out just peacefully.
Let me tell you.
And
we had two fronts. If you looked at Mandamano. For the first time, the first Mandamano for Gen Zs was tribeless, leaderless. For real, it was clean. Very clean. But when now opposition started looking at it as an opportunity, and another officer who was a former officer now in our government saw it as an opportunity, they started fueling.
Which one? Which opposition?
The second.
Gachagua.
Even
do you have any evidence of that?
Yes,
evidence
I do.
around that.
Nobody has ever come up with evidence.
Nobody has ever asked.
Because
for it.
if he supported,
nobody has ever asked for it.
Wait a minute.
But we in government understand and we know a lot.
So if he supported this and the government said this was actually they said, was it did they term it as terrorism or what?
Yeah, they say terrorism.
Actually, so why is he not in jail now?
They only charge the young people
in this country, and he can bear me witness. At some point in politics, you reach a point where you're untouchable. If you ever, in the wildest dreams, whether it was Kibaki, Uhuru, arrested Raila Amolo Odinga, this country would have burned. Now with a void, Gachagua has made it his business to try and fill that void. But I am happy, and when I tell you I'm happy, I'm in government, but I'm happy seeing what Sifuna is doing, because now Sifuna has come to rescue this generation from a madman.
Is it Patricia?
Yeah,
Patricia. You know, this goonism thing is not only Nairobi.
Yes, it's a whole country.
You see what happened in Kakamega?
In the whole country.
Where goons were being hired, given 1,000 shillings to go and disrupt the rally.
See, you people stop looking at it like you're the
Yeah,
first. When I was I was not in government last time.
It's now too widespread.
As we have been beaten. My friend have been beaten for the last since 2002. I started this siasa with Akinya Ajenga Karum. Since that time, ile vita tumelimwa. Not the first time.
So
Goonism is our political culture. It is wrong. But like I said, the social economical problem, everybody knows when politics checks in, iko chakula. When this gentleman
because I want a kazi.
That's social economical. That is what exactly hakuna mboka. Na siasa imekuwa mboka. Sasa ukiambia mavijana ati actually the word goon ni venye watu wanasema goon nini. But it is supporter supporters A people clashing with supporter B people. That has happened since 1992 in this country. That was the politics since we started.
But now the problem.
Baba, you remember there's a time Baba went and in Thika found his father in a meeting for Ford Kenya. He disrupted it with his goons.
No, so I think you're talking goons are part of politics.
Yes.
But now at the scale that it is happening,
like I said,
it is the first time that it's happening at that scale.
Yes, because it is the first time in this country. We have a youth bulge, a different generation. That is why you will probably feel uncomfortable. But I'm sure even you in politics, when you're entering, at some point if you're in Kidero's government, so I'm sure you must have done politics at a young age. You are also not venye nakuona hata huko kijana mdogo huko mtu raisi. Ni kijana anasimama tu anasema mimi ndio mkubwa wa vijana na hiyo ni mboka imejipangika.
It should not be allowed. We should not encourage it because thinking that it has always been there. It is something that is getting dangerous. You know, it got out of hand in Sudan.
Yes, actually that is what I wanted to
do. Yes. They are the ones now disturbing the government, fighting against the government. But they started as goons.
Yes, but also look at it.
And again,
also look at it. Unless we change our political perception, this one is not on any government. I want to be very particular about this one.
It's something that is always
it is with our politicians. I am running for senator of Kiambu. And can I tell you, you cannot walk into Kiandu to slum. without your boys. Kitaumana utalimwa. You'll go there, you'll walk out of there naked. It is the reality of some political thing. But now, how can we be able to fight it? When Team A, government has their goons, opposition has their goons, in terms of people planning, because government cannot go hire goons, because government already has too much machinery to come and deal with you. But again, you deal with you, then now it goes back to police brutality.
But let me ask you, because I remember during the Gen Z protest, there is a time I was in town, in some building there at the center of town, and in some hotel actually, and I was seeing what was happening.
Yes.
Personally, I saw.
Yes.
And I saw these guys were coming marungu, and then police were behind them, and they were doing nothing. But now us, the other people who were just walking, the pedestrians who are just walking on the streets, and also the Gen Zs who are doing the mandamano, they came after them.
Yes.
So now my question is, let me just say, not even bringing in that whole issue. I just want to understand now, what is now the work of the government in terms of these goons? So you say these goons have always been there, but now what happens to us innocent people who are just walking on the streets?
Mandamano for Gen Z, mandamano was a peculiar situation for this country and the world. All day we have had the Arab uprisings, but none ever got to the steps we did in this country. Like I said, kids in Loreto, kids in no, they did not.
Because they changed government.
They changed governments, but they not practically. They put in military governments. It was just a people's school. But for the first time, our rich kids, our poor kids came together and voiced it out. It was a peculiar situation for a generation that has messed us, not us millennials. And I'm very particular about that one, because when my senior here was in government, or rather when we were running government, the youth bulge, the unemployment, is because now this 90% of the people who are above a certain age became rich and started relaxing and started using force to get even power. That is how goonism grows. It gets to a point where we cannot tolerate each other. I cannot tolerate a divergent view as a candidate A and B. Munalimana mtu ameandika kitu, by that time hakukuwa na Facebook na nini. You go for a meeting, you just talk ill of candidate A, usiku wanakuja kwako. You know, that's how politics used to be done.
But now my question is, now for the politicians, if they are having their goons outside there, now I'm just talking about this innocent Kenyan, yeah? Yeye ni Mkenya tu anatembea kwa street. But they get isn't the government supposed to protect its people?
But the government has always been doing that. Because now, again,
it has not always done that.
The government has always
did that, but the scale at which what we are seeing right now is too open, too obvious, too supported
like
by government. They don't touch these goons. They go for the innocent.
Let me ask you.
If you are just passing there, maybe you are going for your own business, you will be clobbered.
Let me ask you, and I want to tell you, like I just said, social economical, don't put government. Please release the word government. Because opposition has actually more goons.
But what's the work of government?
And the question is,
what's the work of government?
Government is to protect. And when they come, like I just said, the social economical problem we have, again, when you gentlemen were dealing with how we get our police reforms and all that, who protects the police officers? You remember, regardless of them having done a very bad job in terms of probably killing and maiming young people, but the situation was also peculiar.
Okay, that one I understand.
Yes.
That one I understand. But now my question is,
to you, the
normal Mwananchi, because like the other day we saw somebody, I saw an artist, is it Jimmy or something, who was attacked the other day. Just here in Kileleshwa, people with motorbikes, and it is not just one motorbike. But we are seeing several of them. What is not happening?
That artist, sorry to say, is very controversial with land matters.
Okay, leave alone leave alone him. Then now look at because we are seeing videos going viral all over. Yeah, about people on motorbikes.
First. By then, people who used to steal used to either enter a car, plan and go and steal.
So now
with the introduction, if you want to see fire, try walking in Kondele that day. Me, I have done politics, but the most serious place I ever saw politically. There's a time we went there, we lost more than 300 phones and 2 guns. By that time when we were under His Excellency the President, who was the deputy by then, the day we were beaten, Mzuri, the stones and all that stuff. So I'm more of, as much as our politics now has become very polarized, we need as a people to also change the way we are doing things. But politicians should not be the people giving directions. The minute you come up as a civil society probably and can show the people the way, it will be a very different scenario altogether.
So I'm imagining Kenya as Singapore, which has the kind of behavior that we are seeing on the roads. Because
but
you
it
said
only comes.
we are
It only
there.
comes. It only
Yes.
comes probably. The insecurity of is not as serious as probably some capitals. Like if you go to Cape Town, Kenya, Joburg, it's crazy. It's 10 times worse. They are more sophisticated than us.
That's not exactly Gunism.
no,
That's just thugs.
Yes. Now ours, the Gunism only comes when there is a political intervention, when there is something political.
Yeah, but you see,
you don't find goons walking every day in
If
town.
anything happens under a certain government,
Yes.
who is to be blamed?
Okay, let me ask you, who is to be blamed for us being
You cannot
beaten?
say, you cannot
For
say
instance,
specific
I told you,
at its politicians.
It is
Yes,
politicians.
The government is there to protect citizens
Let me
and
ask-
their property. And if
we were
other
with
citizens
there.
are being protected, the ones who are clobbering others are protected by the same government.
Which government?
They say if they do that,
yes,
government which employs police.
let me
Which
ask
one
you.
employs police?
Let me ask you. For instance, His Excellency, my President William, went to Kandara. Mongioiria came with goons by that time. They were coming to fight to beat him. I was in Kondale, and I'm telling you, we were beaten. Or we weren't in government, or rather, we were in government. We actually had the number 2 most senior person in the country,
So
and
who-
we were clobbered. So the problem, and I want to, that's why I'm insisting on my brother. Don't put it as this government. It is a culture that now is blowing.
Why is it blowing?
It is blowing because the kids who are now kids by that
Okay,
time
now-
are now parents.
So now, Jimmy, because now you are saying not about this government. You don't want this government to be blamed.
For
but
anything.
now I just want to ask,
No.
what is the solution? What is the way forward? And especially in terms of
We
matters.
must change
Yes.
our political culture. We must stop
Who
allowing
has that
politicians.
mandate? Who has that mandate right now? as
The
we
people.
speak?
The people spoke. The people spoke against a bill. And the politicians cowed until the people take up their mandate to be more vocal. Don't expect any government to come and you will have a good ride on it. Even the next one after 2032, because I'm sure William will win. Even after 2032, now it will be a worse ballot because we'll have Gen Alpha. Now we'll be reaching their puberty.
So the problem is the generation.
Yes, we are
Is it the
escalating.
generation, or is it the
It is very generational.
or a failed government?
No, very generational. Because what was happening in 1992 happened in 2002. Akinya Orango were the goons by that time in 92.
No, those were politicians.
No, there's nothing like politics there. They used to go throw stones. They were,
Okay,
for
so
them to
what is
enter the
this-
space.
Yes.
Most of them came through activism, through university activism. By that time, the goons was Nairobi. Do you remember the time Nairobi University used to stop the city of Nairobi from running? Now it evolved because they were able to contain the university and the
Yes, that
security
is why
system.
if you look at the 10-point agenda that was passed between Ruto and Raila Odinga, one of the things was protection of human rights, I think.
Yes.
That was point number what? Number
And the creation of employment.
Yes, but what human rights are we protecting? Are we protecting it for their citizens or of
protection of you, on promotion of youth?
Yes.
Yeah, that one because of what happened during that demonstration.
Yes.
So it was for it to be in the part of 10-point agenda. The government was admitting that actually we did something wrong at that time through other abductions, through the goonism, and through everything that
I
happened.
beg to differ. Don't say government because it was a discussion.
Why were they?
It was a discussion between Baba's team and His Excellency the President's team. Kalonzo Musyoka and my elder senior brother, a gentleman I have respect for, is called Kimani Ichung'wah. It was a discussion. They were saying we want this to happen, but nobody admitted liability in any front.
Let's get back to the start of because actually you are now transitioning to politics and see what is happening because of course the broad-based government, they have up to 7th of March.
Yes.
Yeah, to review the 10 points agenda.
Yes.
10 points agenda. There we say that there was the NADCO report, which was saying that His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka was part of.
Yes, he was the chair on this side.
Was chair, and also, so at the coming of this 10 point agenda, of course, remember it came at that time after the Mandamano, that time when the country was in chaos in terms of the Mandamano.
Yes.
Yeah, and then now later, you remember for the Mandamano now to cool down. Of course, the late former Prime Minister calling for that intergenerational conclave, but it was never.
It has not come through.
Yeah, it didn't come. Yeah,
we're actually seeing it now openly.
But
in ODM. Now it has reached. ODM is giving us the best example.
So now himself, he went and sat down with the president, and that is why you remember that time the Gen Zs were saying, "Okay, Baba, why did you go?" You understand? But then now he said, wait until we are doing this. I remember there is a statement that he said, we are doing this, but when the right time will come, we will tell them why we did this. Yeah. Now let's talk about these 10 point agendas. So ambapo there is that one for protection of life.
Yes.
There is the compensation.
Yes.
There is also the address. Fulfilling the NADCO report.
Yes.
Of course, now the NADCO report has a lot inside. The NADCO report already has a lot inside.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, there are so many things that are in that 10-point agenda.
Yes.
And this is what has led to maybe even the breakup of ODM.
Inside, within.
Yeah, from within the ODM, because some feel like these issues will never be addressed. The likes of Kina Sifuna.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why
it is good. It's good. It's agitating for our political space. But other than that, probably some of the things he does is, and I have said it, and I've said it over and over again. It is for us to get solutions. This country does not belong to William Samoei Ruto.
But he's leading
it right now.
Yes, he's leading it. Come even there is a time Jimmy Maina Wanjigi said, even though you're given that, whoever can be given that government will leave alone His Excellency William. Anybody, for instance, as much as the NADCO reports was being done, did we do a forensic audit on anything that happened in terms of from both the NADCO report was me saying this. Politicians.
Mm-hmm.
They did a public we call it what?
Participation.
Public participation.
Mm-hmm.
But how much of that got into the report itself?
But the report was never implemented, and I think
the report is being implemented slowly, and we are looking at 1 year later. Not actually, 1 year later is when it's not even a year. I think the year will come now in March, on March 7.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that people don't understand? There's a notion that people need something called a quick fix, and that is where we go wrong in this country at some point, because we fix things emotionally. We deal with things emotionally. But the practicability of some of these things is we have a lot of historical injustices. Like I'm saying, the youth bulge, even His Excellency, the former president said, this thing will come and it blew up on William. But it was something everybody was seeing. But everybody did a quick fix for their time and they moved on. Baba has been looking at it and seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Baba has been talking about it. We are looking at, for instance, the civil societies and rather right to life and the protection of life. But we are forgetting. We have now vindicated people from doing, like right now, this border gentleman, and I saw the chairman say they have stopped doing it. You hit one of them, you're telling people go deal with it yourselves. It's like we are not, because if a police officer comes there and shoots up, probably shoots one of the people who was fighting. Now the problem stops becoming the border guys who are burning the car. It becomes the police officer.
Why shoot? Why not arrest?
You know, it is desperate times call for desperate measures. Nobody is mad enough, other than the gentleman you saw kill Hoka. some of them, we also need them to go get mental checkups. Those ones are crazy. A few kukosi kitu rotten in any system. But on the other hand, how do we motivate our protectors other than our God?
I've just told you what you used to do. Probably you didn't get it.
You know, I got it in the community policing.
Yeah,
but now, when you are doing it, there were no civil societies. That is my problem.
There were a lot of civil society.
But they were not vocal
they were
in
not
terms.
vocal after Kibaki, but
Yes.
they were there to what Moi's end.
Yes. And they died. So now, they came. Whatever you guys planned there was void of you ever thinking the way anything like that will come up. Now, how do we protect our protector? My question.
By working with our protector, we'll find ways of protecting our protector.
But now our protector,
Now
as
there's a
it is
disconnect between
in the
our protector
constitution,
and us.
after year 202, you guys planning, we put in a new constitution. The new constitution did not protect our protector. Now he's the one who looks like has a bounty on his head for using that firearm. Every police officer has a bounty on his head.
They have moved back to being a force.
Yes.
From the service. They are no longer a service as we
Yes.
thought in the new constitution. Now it is just worse than it used to be right now.
Now, how now?
If
Why
you
are you? I want you to stop agitating
if you look
for.
at the deaths of people like Albert Ojwang, and you look at the way it happened.
Yes.
And then the way young men were being abducted. And up to today,
I don't condone that, and I am not a supporter of that in any, and I would really want to be very, very particular about that. But like I said, desperate times sometimes call for desperate measures, and they are rogue people, and they are rogue in every service. They are rogue in every government service.
And they were wrong, actually.
And they were rogue.
The other day,
they were rogue. They were rogue because these people are. You guys are insisting on this government. I want to tell you, we okay. For instance, and it is not good to give an example of a death with a death. We're not really talking about the death factor. You people are trying to put it like this government. We may have our flaws, probably in the way the service is running.
Have a government.
Yes, but we may have our flaws. No government is 100%. There is a gentleman called Matiang'i. They are fronting. Under his leadership, we collected 200 bodies in Triciah.
Yeah, and the people still talking about
rogue. When you say rogue, were those people being collected by aliens? They're being collected by police officers by them.
And it's still
running for what government?
It's still a hot topic even
yes, now. Because now, unless we look at, because we fight so much about extrajudicial killings, because the desperate times call for some desperate measures, because we also have a problem with our systems of governance, in terms of even our court systems. It has become easy at some point to even buy justice. And it's when we are seeing, like, you should look at Dandora Crime Free. There's a gentleman there, it's called Saigon. Saigon. He posts them and tell them, you have been arrested, you have bought freedom, we will not, and I don't know if people become crazy, because after a few weeks or months, gunned down, mob justice. You understand? So we have to know how to deal with our people, and that I'm saying we have a problem. Ours is social economical. We have another problem called the youth bulge. We have our police force that is not only demoralized because probably of the system. We need to work with civil society. Go and work with the police force so that we can be able to have a conducive environment.
Okay, as the citizens do their part,
yes.
Isn't the government better positioned to fight a majority of these things,
yes.
because they have the machinery,
yes.
yeah, they have the capital,
yes.
they are the ones in leadership, yes. So we are expecting that they are the ones who are supposed to bring these
yes.
solutions.
For instance, like the motorbikes, the motorbike gentlemen. These guys have been stealing red light center in every town. Even in Thika today, if you see mugging through motorbikes, I think it has become an easier way of doing it. By then, hakuna kupanga. It's just you're 3 people or 2. They usually walk 3 or they go with that kind of thing, 3 or 2 people. So we have had a lot of unsustainable ways of doing things in terms of the police force. Now is when I'm seeing our police officers being given motorbikes and starting now motorbike patrols.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, we have always hatuna gari, hatuna nini.
Even with the cars,
yes.
Haina mafuta.
Haina mafuta or something like
that.
But
as long as we have this thing, we are government. If you remember, they shoot them in the leg. You remember shoot them in the leg thing?
Yes.
It came from who?
His Excellency.
Is that now not government?
But how many were shot?
Yeah,
Because actually,
after that, nobody was killed. Actually, after
so
that, he was saying it after, way after. Nobody had.
But you see, you cannot defend.
The president
you cannot defend the indefensible.
Yes,
I've just
yeah.
given you an
Like that
example.
one, that's why I've kept
saying
quiet.
how many were shot. You cannot say how many were shot.
Nobody was shot. It was after he said that.
There's a time, but he said it.
There's a time he said
proclaimed it. And he never.
There's a time His Excellency.
Never withdrew up to today.
Yes, there's a time His Excellency said the mambo ni mata.
But this one,
you are a politician yourself.
So direct.
Okay, let's because now.
But no order was given in writing.
Now, as we finish this, let us just
to anybody to shoot.
Yes, let's just know that the government has a responsibility to protect its people.
And it is doing it, I think, to the level best. Because I'm telling you, as much as for instance, since 2021, I think we have not actually had a police recruitment. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was supposed to happen last year. I don't know. Then I think it went to court again. It was postponed.
I thought it happened this year.
It happened.
Have you seen people for police, or it was army? Yes, police service. Have you seen?
That I'll have to check. Because
yes,
but then now, okay,
it never. We were supposed to take 10,000.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's just even finish with that, so that now we can have these 15 minutes to talk about the other politics bit of it. The by-elections were done.
Yes.
The other day,
and we won.
And I've heard the president congratulating his party candidates who won.
Yes.
And I just want to hear from you as analyst. What does because people are saying that of course it is a strong political statement in this by-election, and even in the previous by-election, and especially to the opposition. I just want to hear from you, Festo. I mean, what does this really mean to the future politics of to the 2027 elections?
It is very scary, because if you look at the other by-election, and what happened in Malava, I don't know what happened in Central. What happened in Malava, there was no election.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was no election there. It was a lot of intimidation, police brutality, goonism, and all that. And even the final result was not what was really achieved by the aspirants. So actually there was no election there in the previous by-election. This one is a bit interesting, meaning that probably he's very strong, or they are using other means to get those victories. But I still believe that quite a majority of the country is still opposed to this government. The majority of Kenyans.
Why are we not seeing it in the ballot?
Because even by-elections don't perform optimally. You know, by-elections you can buy the by-election very easily, and it's not easy to buy the general.
You cannot
election.
steal elections in this country. I've done.
No,
and
you
I've
can.
been
I
part
said
and part
buy,
of
not steal. Because if you come and pour a lot of money, like they
That's
did,
buying,
I know Malava because I was very near there. Like they did in Malava, that's buying the election.
It's not buying.
Because if
it is the norm of politics, which has not started happening now.
Let's not advocate for that norm, which is not
you
right.
See, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about it. The norm is him as a politician. Even him, he understands. Let me tell you, him as he wants to be member of parliament. He knows he has to put aside money, but not to go do
to bribe.
Not to bribe.
To buy
yes, you get those things you must do. Is like paying people, going to make a road or stuff like that. When you go make a road, what are you doing?
Even goons were imported into Malava. Goons were imported.
Jimmy.
From where?
And they are being led by Livondo. They are being led by another one comes from near my area. I mean, it was obvious. It was open.
I'm telling
I hope maybe there is any evidence around.
I've seen police.
No, there's evidence. They were seen there. What were they doing in Malava the day before the election?
But they
don't come from there.
Listen.
And actually, one of them was arrested and beaten by the people, and he revealed that actually you have been sent to do this. So that one was very openly an influence election towards a certain result. And also, I do not think that we should judge 2027 from these by-elections. 2027 is going to be very interesting, because if you look at the people, the chunk of the country which has moved away, like Central Kenya, which has moved away.
That is a story.
Western province, I can tell you for sure, I come from Western.
Even Western itself.
Western province has shifted. Ukambani has shifted.
Ukambani was never in part of the system.
So if you look at Kisii has shifted, yeah.
I know Kisii they have a candidate. Look at. I want to tell my senior who is now. You will be a member of parliament.
The thing that will be
and God willing, we will walk in the same path.
At this point, the thing that will be very scary to you the people. If the united opposition actually unites and produces one candidate,
so it's almost next to impossible. I know.
Because Festo, I want you to convince me otherwise, because from the by-elections, because like the by-elections that happened in Embu.
Yes.
Yeah, that is Mount Kenya.
And JB Muturi is a principal in the
Yes,
United
I even saw him vote, of course. So I want you to convince me that maybe the people there are gonna vote differently.
It is planning.
Otherwise, come 2027.
I think I come back to the same point. It's easy to manipulate a by-election. It's very easy. It's a very small scale thing. And I think Itumbi and
Dennis is the boss
and Kindiki.
But I
think they come there.
No, they didn't.
MCA position used to be a very small thing. People never used to pay attention to it.
But
all of a sudden now it's become a very big thing.
Yes, but I want to correct him. I want to correct. I've done 2 by-elections in one. We did the by-election for Juja, for Koimbori. That was the first statement to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. We are coming. Second statement was John Kawanjiko in Kiampa. He's saying it's a very small thing. But the magnitude of political influence by then, His Excellency the President was using money, crazy amounts of money by then when we were winning. So I want to tell him we are in UDA. And a lot of what is happening in the opposition is a lot of all talk. Everybody is hungry for this. This guy was this and this guy was this. By the time you start thinking of even getting a candidate, let me tell you, His Excellency the President is at a better place to actually go to the Gen Z and tell you guys, I'm sorry this thing came up and you know it was in our time and I've done ABCD. For opposition, like I was looking at the candidates who the front runners, because it is Kalonzo and Matiang'i, right? I actually read in 1998, I was, I think, in class. I was in Form 1. That guy was Minister of Education.
Who?
Kalonzo. Are we mad to go bring a person from a forgotten generation to come now and lead us?
But Kibaki did the same thing. I mean,
by the time Kibaki moved from an old man to an old man. Now, can I promise you, the opposition, William will win in the morning.
But William is
because William
is also in the same bracket with Kalonzo.
No. What do you, boss? 10 plus years. Don't even talk about it.
I don't think that's
William is in his.
I don't think the Kalonzo's age.
It is.
Is an issue.
I can promise you it is.
I think the issue is the unity in the opposition.
Yes,
that's the issue.
Now I'm taking you now to the realities, which you're not looking at. Now on the analysis side, Kalonzo for you.
But you'll be in UDA.
Yes.
Right. So you cannot speak for that opposition.
No, I'm saying the way we are looking at it.
Yeah.
And by the way we are looking
from
at
the
it.
UDA's perspective.
Yes, not from a UDA perspective, because
UDA,
we talk.
I like UDA perspective.
UDA perspective, not necessarily from the UDA perspective, but a perspective of majority of Kenyans. My friend,
which I am a millennial. Which this majority?
I'm in an age bracket of millennials, and we discuss.
I know, but
we meet in social places. Forget about my affiliation to anything. We discuss. That is why I come here and have authority probably to say something that is there. There is no day.
You're forgetting we also meet and discuss.
Yes, that's basically it. That's basically it. Number one, they're selling us old.
Don't use that.
And that is why Sifuna's space will not only eke UDA, it will hit opposition.
But Sifuna said he will
because these people.
Sifuna said he will do anything, even if it means shelving his ambition to make sure that opposition is united. And if meaning that whatever is coming with, he is willing to put it on the table for the opposition.
It doesn't. Let me ask you.
Sawa. It's okay. Let's talk about something else.
Yes.
Just still politics. I heard that the Mount Kenya leaders, some of the Mount Kenya leaders, say that if William Ruto is not going to pick Kithure Kindiki, because you remember the position of the deputy presidency is still there is a problem because the opposition, the ODM wants that position. So assuming today Ruto doesn't take in Professor to be his running mate, what happens?
Everything is possible in politics.
Yes.
So let's just assume.
Don't even. We assume. But as of now, up until next year in August, His Excellency Kithure Kindiki is the deputy president.
Of course, that one we
and his interest lies with the biggest vote basket in this country, Mount Kenya. Some of those statements were made.
You are talking about Mount Kenya East, not West.
No, I'm saying Mount Kenya, because right now there is nobody who can come and say anything other than Kindiki. We were not recognized as other people. I mean, for whatever reason,
I really don't.
In terms of government, in terms of planning of systems of government, nobody can say anything else. He's a deputy president.
In terms of government.
Yes, in terms of government. Politically, there are very many naysayers. We still have His Excellency, our former president, still a political guru in our region. We have a lot. There were times when Matiang'i would not have talked, when Nyachai would have talked by that time. It is normal politics that is going around our region. But our region right now is most of the statements, let me first go to the statement. Most of those statements were personal statements from individuals, not sent by anybody, which I am 100% sure, because most of them were either trying to get close to the deputy president for favors or stuff like that. So when they started, and actually they are the ones who icked ODM into coming and saying, tunataka hiyo kiti. There was nothing. ODM had not even talked about that particular seat, and some people said saying we are in this. If William does not do this.
This was just yesterday, but not even then.
No, but I know the people, the characters who said that are not of any relevant system, and there is nobody there is no fear that William will come. If there is a person, I believe, a man of his word politically, and who does not forget, is William. That one I can tell you for free. I'm sure you know him. I'm sure you know he pays loyalty, and he does things in the right way.
Loyalty,
so with 4 minutes,
he also does not forgive.
Now the forgiving part is that one I don't know, because I've never been in any wrong books.
Well, and again, that is personal. You know, for
those who have worked with him,
then you need to choose. But then you need to. It is your personal choice.
But
that's how
those who have worked with
Mount Kenya is not even worried. Let me tell you, for a very funny reason, we are not worried about his at the number 2 or stuff like that. We relinquished power as a community. We are not in the right time of thinking we want that power again until after 2032. So we will offer our support.
I think you're just soothing your own ego.
No, we are not soothing.
Let's hear from you. Let's hear from
nobody can run government without the support of.
Okay, let's hear from Daktari, because we only have like 2 minutes remaining. So let's hear from you, then we wind up.
What do you want to hear from me on the
Just
same
a summary of everything, like what is your last...
I think the elephant in the country, or in the room, that we should have addressed also, we should have said something about corruption. Because I think that is the biggest problem we have in this country. And that is the cause of all our problems.
That one we shall discuss next.
And as long as we keep putting it under the carpet,
procrastinating,
it's the cause of all evil. Yeah, the way people are living large. You know, the legis of government. I've never seen the legis of government as big as I see it now. Yeah, everyone now is using a chopper. The Kibaki days, how many MPs used to go with choppers?
Was it affordable?
Even Uhuru days.
In fact,
now it has become.
Just let him finish.
Even Uhuru Kenyatta's time, it was not to this scale. You know what it means? It's only government people. It's only people in government or in UDA. Even the people in opposition are not as extravagant as we see the people in UDA. So there is something happening that is making people have so much money. So I hope next time we can discuss corruption.
Sure, we will.
As a topic on its own.
We will definitely.
Yeah,
yes.
And not move into anything else.
Sure.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you. I don't take this for granted, and I also appreciate it just for coming and discussing some of these things.
Yes.
And for those who come from my my backyard where I'm running for member of parliament from Mias West. If some of you have watched, I'm sure. Just know that I'm still with you. I'm coming for the change that we are trying to look for, and you know where I stand on many of these issues, and I'll keep standing there. I'll keep having my stand. You know very well that I don't condone corruption, and I don't condone bad governance, and I believe in values.
Thank you.
And that's what I want to see this country adopt. And as long as we have those values breaking down at the top, then I'll always have a problem with any government, not only this one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daktari. Just 30 seconds.
Mine is to say, Asante, thank you for actually meeting Daktari and having a discussion with him. And thank you also for the opportunity. I want to tell Kenyans to be very optimistic. Change is there. Change may be inevitable. Change is inevitable, actually, but it may be painful. For instance, I'm looking at when people talk about William, and nobody ever thought about our retirement benefits packages. I don't understand what anybody was saying. We saved 200 since 1963 to I don't know when, until William was able to change. And I am seeing people will retire in this with the policies of this government. Some as millionaires, not by stealing, but by the hard-earned money they worked for in government and in other places. So I want to tell people from Abaka, I'm also standing for Senator of Kiambu, and we are more progressive in a generational change, because we cannot always use the old wineskins to put in new wine. We need new wineskins and new hide-skins.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Festo, for coming. Thank you to the dear viewers for watching, taking your time to be part of this conversation. So until next time, please take care and have a good night.